It's Friday, everybody, and you know what that means. It's time to wrap up your week the only way we know how. It's Series E, MultiVersus here, brought to you by Esports Arena. My name is Jason. I'm your host. As always, excited to be here with you and enjoying a wonderful Friday afternoon as we watch some awesome MultiVersus action. So welcome in. For those of you that are new, let's break down just how Series E works so we are all on the same page. Now, Series E is a professional esports open circuit that absolutely anybody can join across multiple different titles. We've got Guilty Gear Strive, Apex Legends, and of course, MultiVersus. Now, the way that it works is players and teams come out, they compete in our open qualifiers, and the best of the best make it into Series E. Now, what does that mean for them? Well, players will get the opportunity to sign a contract, get drafted by one of our partner brands, earn a monthly salary, and compete weekly for points and prize money. So, if you and your friends want to get involved in the action and have any further questions, make sure to head over to esportsarena.com today. And we've got our MultiVersus players competing here tonight in an invite-only bracket with some of the best talent from all across MultiVersus. We're wrapping up Mike and Ike week, as you can kind of see over my shoulder. Let's go YCam one more time, just so that people know it's Mike and Ike week, folks. I got a bevy of Mike and Ikes. I can literally take a bath in Mike and Ike's on this table in front of me here today. We have some fresh swag this week. Brand new fanny pack. I was wearing some cozy Mike and Ike socks earlier this week. So big thank you to Mike and Ike for their continued support of everything we're doing here with Series E, of course, of our players as well. So we're happy to celebrate Mike and Ike here with them and with all of you. As we turn our attention to our bracket here tonight, of course, it's been Team Vitamin Water that have absolutely owned Series E since the start of the new year. They won 4 tournaments in a row. They, of course, took one off. Mirrorman wasn't able to make it a couple of weeks ago, and while they did make it deep in the bracket, the duo finally fell. Cosolix playing alongside a friend of theirs, Luck, and they couldn't get it to 5 in a row then, but Mirrorman back last week alongside Cosolix, and they returned to their dominant form once again. So Mirrorman 5-0 here in Series E in this calendar year. They're looking to make it 6 here tonight. They're going to be a tough team to knock off, but we'll have to see if they can get it done. Moonlit Knights have been a new revelation here in Series E that we've had a pleasure to watch as of late. That's a very talented duo. Of course, every time K7 and Legendary are here, of course, playing under the world's greatest detective duo name, they're a team definitely to keep your eye on. But we'll have to see, can maybe Team Mike and Ike or one of the other Series E duos finally knock Vitamin Water off their pedestal. They'll have a tough test here tonight. Of course, the bracket going to be stacked front to back, but we'll see if they can make some magic happen here at the end of Mike and Ike week. Zip Master Flex back on the mic once again, right alongside Ajax. They'll be bringing you all of the action for all our games in the bracket here tonight. And of course, I'll be here to break things down in between and keep you abreast on everything going on in our bracket. So you can look forward to that from now until the end of the show. We're not going to waste any further time, though. We're wrapping up Mike and Ike week the best way we know how. It's time for some Series E MultiVersus.
What's going to pick me the plate? Uppercut. Yes, sir. Up there.
There we go.
We're
going to have a 2-whole stock lead.
Oh, and then the butt bomb Cosolix is out of there. Oh my God.
With you, but I mean, look at how close it is already. We have all 4 players at over 100%. Mirrorman's going to lose his first stock on the dagger on the Velma, which is going to be very good because then it can just be bringing himself right on over to deal with Marrtoons, and they're going to be able to get it to
Who knows he can't really send Arya?
Bro, Mirrorman is looking so hard for this kill, and he's going to be able to get it. Oh my goodness. So blue team going to take the first game out of nowhere.
All right, everybody, it's that time of the week. It's the final day of the week. That is the best day of the week. You already know what it is. It's MultiVersus E-Series time, and I get to be back here in the hot seat with my boy, Zip. How you doing today, bro?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm feeling nice. I'm just trying to see some more scrapping, dog. Yesterday we did Guilty Gear Strive, and now we get to do some good old MultiVersus action. The bracket is stacked. I love this invitational format. And it's just nothing but goons, right? Straight to the action.
Absolutely, and also shout out to the fact, again, it is Mike and Ike week. All those, they actually went out of the way to send a bunch of gifts and packages to the players and to us. So shout out to them for providing some love and support and just putting on a great show throughout each week and all the sponsors we have, but specifically Mike and Ike this week. Yay, so don't take a bath in that, though. That's all I gotta say. You're gonna need to follow up afterwards. But Mike and Ike, of course, put on a great show, and that team looking pretty hot as well too. You're talking about the teams. Of course, we got Team Vitamin Water back in the mix. Mirrorman, Cosolix always holding it down. Greeted to Yawn going up against them first. Not gonna be the happiest customers of that, but sometimes Greeted Neon pop off and they might get that big dub. Then of course you got Team Aegon by AOC, Ross at Cinco, staple team from the beginning. Mike and Ike, Team Swerve, and Ramss right after that. But let's take a quick look at the format as usual. Zip, what we got?
Man, we have the double elimination 2v2 tournament. Matches are best of 3 until top 4. Matches occurring in top 4 will be best of 5. So, you know, we're going to get ready for those big banger matches towards the end. Timer is going to be 7 minutes on default. Ring outs 4, right? So we're going to have 4 stocks to get you a dub. And it's been like that every single time. Stage hazards off. Perks are all legal. Winner must keep the same characters, and losers may switch, confirming the winner's character pick. All right, it's a stage list. We got Trophy's Edge, Batcave, Sky Arena with platforms, and normally I think there is without platforms too, but and then we have Cromulons.
To confirm on that too, because we this happens every time we come up here. So Sky Arena covers both. It is both flat and with platforms there. It just happens to save more space to put it on that one graphic there. So
that makes sense. Yeah, they put the parentheses as in, yes. Hey, you can do platforms also. Got it. And then we have, as always, this is that tournament you're trying to qualify. The ASO already broke this down to you guys, but you know what I'm saying? These guys are trying to get some points over here. You got 50 for first place, 40 for second place, and then so on and so forth. Prizing as usual, $500 prize pool, and these guys are trying to get to the buckaroonies. Now, I want to talk about Team Vitamin Water, right? Yeso was giving that breakdown of what they've been doing throughout this year, and it sounded a little familiar, if you caught my drift. It sounded like Michael Jordan winning 3 championships. He leaves. Scottie Pippen couldn't win without him. He comes back and wins some more. So they won 3. You know what I'm saying? Scottie Pippen, Cosolix played one without him, lost, and now he's back, and then they won again. Let's see if they keep that streak up. Are they going to three-peat 2 times in a row? You feel what I'm saying?
I feel like that was both a hype up and a low blow to Cosolix at the same time.
Scottie Pippen is one of the greatest players of all time.
No. But it's like, hey. All I'm saying is that without MJ, you weren't able to win. But still, I mean, this is actually a big factor too, because you can't. So when you have consistent teams and you have the strength of the 2-pair, and then you just go in sometimes with a brand new player, it takes time to get used to it. So even with as good as Cosolix wasn't able to get that dub that week. But you already know, right back here with the same consistent winning duo that they have been so dominant. So even with that one-off week, Cosolix wouldn't let that get to him regardless. Like that Mirrorman and Cosolix team is too strong. And then on the opposite side of that bracket too, one of your favorites, of course, is sitting right there, which we get to see, Meth and Clueless. But that also means, because of the fact that we have that team, and I'm looking at another one that has joined the fray, Palmchi and Combo, that leads to 2 potential Iron Giants today, because Palmchi also a very strong Iron Giant. So we could see 2 of them maybe move forward. One of them does have to fight against Batman and Velma, though. That's not a fun time for Iron Giant usually in 2s. So we'll see if Palmchi and Combo can get through that team of the world's greatest detectives with my favorites, Legendary Pred and K7 Show Off.
That's for sure. That's for sure. But, State Fair, the corn dog himself, Mr. Clueless, that he's one of my favorite players, dude. I love watching I love watching his Iron Giant go to work. We talked about last time we cast together. That dude, when he gets going and he's saucing, like it's over with. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't he beat a Batman comp? Didn't he beat World's Greatest Detectives last time?
Might not have been the one that I was on. I believe it was one of the weeks that we weren't here, but I think it did happen. And it's not impossible either, because a good Iron Giant can bait a Batman into really bad positions. Utilizing the bolts for invincibility, and you get a little bit too hungry for the KO, and you get reversed. It is very possible. And we have a very different look at some of the characters now too. I mean, Batman did get buffed before, of course, with that down attack combo being able to lead to a bunch, which by the way, just putting it out there, okay, I self-reported, and I got that move nerfed because it had to, okay? I did it, so I don't want to hear nothing, okay? I held to it that one, but it had to. It was a little too strong, especially in ones. But one of the things that does change as well, a big one that's universal, Zip, is when you do your dodge boosted jump now, once you begin the jump out of the dodge boost, your invincibility is now gone. You no longer have the dodge invincibility. So dodge boosting, of course, being one of the main movement options in this game. Yeah, so now all of a sudden you can't just dodge, jump, fly across the screen with invulnerability on startup still. You can get punished for that now. In twos, that makes a huge difference. So I'm very curious to see who's able to adapt around that here, especially with this being one of the early weeks with that new change.
I'm going to be telling you right now, first off, I didn't know that was a thing. Second off, I have not seen anybody play with that rule set yet, and I am looking to see more thoughtful movement. That is, oh my gosh. If there was anything I could ask for this game to change, hey, straighten up. Straighten up, camera. What are you doing? I'm looking right at you. There we go. Now, if there was anything I could ask for this game to do, it was make moving around the map a little bit more punishable. And you know, not being able to just dodge freely constantly, and for that to be one of the changes that just came up, I am one of the happiest campers you could possibly think of. Oh
yeah, I mean,
I'm so excited for this now. Yes, sir.
Yeah, a lot of things are moving in the right direction. I mean, like there's a lot of small changes that are being done quality of life wise for each character. There are some that got buffed as well. So we see like the rises of Marvin is actually a problem now.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see it here amongst the team comps. It could happen because these are all very talented players, and I know Mirrorman has a really good Marvin too, so don't be surprised to see if that pops up. But you know, Marvin with all the buffs to all of the electric stun gun moves now break armor. He has different hit stun based on combos, so he has a lot of different ways to extend his strings now. And that's just Marvin. That's not even including the fact that Garnet got a whole lot of buffs, like a lot of buffs. Who else? Gizmo got a lot of buffs. So a lot of other characters are starting to move their way up towards the higher end characters without bringing the higher end characters down way too much, which is good because we've talked about this before. I love when everybody feels broken. I love when everybody feels really strong all at the same time. But it's not the same way as before when we had loops kind of controlling the whole game. It feels like everybody's starting to climb their way and they're starting to have a bit more creativity to each one. But creativity be damned. First, wait a minute. We are going to see a little bit of a creative mix-up here. It's not the same as usual. We're going to see the Harley come out. And speaking of buff character, Zip, Harley is insane right now.
Is she? She was already insane to me. What?
Yes.
Like, what did they do?
Let me tell you, bro. Like they put Harley in the oven and they cooked. Down attack has better abilities to cancel and combo now. The neutral air does not have a hitbox attached to her body anymore. So when she goes in and shifts, even though it won't hit you on the back end, it'll keep her from getting hit as often. And her ability to combo off of down attack into neutral air and such is way better. And something to do with up attack as well. It has a different, I think it has this earlier startup frame. So yeah, the vacuum hitbox works better. Basically, Harley went from a camper to like Batman, but with an actual bat in hand. So pay close attention.
I know this man did not say Batman with an actual bat in hand. A word bubble into the light bulb, and Cosolix going to take the first stock of the game. We've had some big time damage, and wow, did you see how she went and got sent? That side air got that obliterated her. Let's use that word.
Bro, that hammer, like we were saying before, it no longer has a hurt box on it. So look at that. You can shift in. You're not going to get caught as much. And then Harley's combo game is just really good. And who sets you up better than almost anyone else in twos for doing set things? Velma. And that's exactly what Cosolix is doing. Greeted and Yawn, of course. Greeted and Yawn are both extremely dangerous. We talked about them before, where we'll sleep on them at the start, and then next thing you know, they just go off. So I wouldn't put them out just yet. Granted, they have not respected Harley down attack like at all yet. That or Mirrorman's just going crazy. Like, look at it. How do you stop him?
Yeah, he's actually going hammer time right now. Like, look at, well, actually, Cosolix is only at 50% damage, but the one that's been in the fray the most, 97% on Mirrorman, finally getting comboed. He's got a little bit of Arya Stark on top of him. Doesn't matter because Cosolix is going to close the game out. Literally did not lose a stock and only took 74 and 110 damage. Are you joking right now?
You know, I am. I always like talking about statistics and breakdowns and stuff, but the proof is in the actions that are taken, right? The proof is in the pudding, if you will. That was 76 damage.
If you didn't say pudding, I was about to be upset.
I didn't want to make it the cliche, but I was like, I tried to think of something else. I'm like, what else could be used besides pudding? And then I realized that there is nothing else. So, but let your actions speak louder than words is what I should have said, right?
Yeah.
There was 76 damage done with no stocks taken once by Arya, which is crazy to think about. Yeah, and then Shaggy did 100 damage. Why? Because they were too busy being comboed and just outspaced by Harley the whole game. Now, is that Harley in and of itself? Partially. Is it Mirrorman being an incredibly good player? Yes. His positioning was phenomenal, where he put himself with that nair, making sure that he always, if he swung the hammer, there was nobody near him to hit him when he finished, because it does have a little bit more end lag to it, as well as that downer. But who was always there to save him? Cosolix. Like you said, Cosolix only took 65 damage up to one point. I think it might have ended at 65 at the end. So they didn't know.
74.
Yeah, they didn't know who to actually target. Crazy. Like it's like, who do we hit? I don't know. Who do you think? I don't know. We got no one.
Yeah, they had no play, dude. That was insane. That was absolutely insane. So, you know what I'm looking forward to? I want to see in this next game what the adjustment is. Because we can say everything we want about that first game, but let's be real about it. There was an absolute steamroll. It was a smackage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, guys, look, I'm going to look into the camera. Greeted. Yawn. You're better than this. Step it up. Come on.
Hey, it ain't over till it's over. That's 100% right. You got time to make a comeback. And you say that even one game down, you can still get it done. Now, what they need to get done, of course, is slowing down Mirrorman. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, they have to get to Mirrorman. I think part of their logic behind deciding to all universally go to Cromulons, of course, is Arya and Shaggy. I assume they probably had counterpick advantage to start. We're trying to get them to get early KOs off the top on the speakers. What happened? They got taken down pretty quick. Never became an issue. I think you don't go back to Cromulons. You still want to have lower KO potential, though. I don't think you want to go to something like Sky Arena Flat, because that makes Velma stronger. Sky Arena Platforms is a risky gambit because Harley can control so much space there with the confetti boxes and the bomb. So I think Trophy's Edge is probably the play. In my view, if you go back to Cromulons, it's a little bit risky. It's not impossible, but the only other option really is Batcave. And after what happened, I don't think you want to fight Mirrorman on Batcave, because you're going to get bounced off those cars a lot. So I think Trophy's Edge is the counterplay here, and they just have to work better at maybe dealing with Cosolix so they can get to Mirrorman, because Cosolix just never allowed them to have an opportunity to hit Mirrorman.
Yeah, they let him play freely. He was doing whatever the heck he wanted out there. But, you know, I'm going to go with you. I'm with you on the Trophy's Edge, but I'm definitely looking at Sky Arena no plats, bro. That's what I think.
It's not impossible. Like, it's definitely a pretty common counterpick, too, for sure. Like, you might be right on the money with it, just because of the fact that, like, even though Velma's extremely strong there, sometimes people just want extra survivability for Arya specifically. And I think that's probably the most common counterpick we see Arya teams go to. So it could happen, but as we've learned from the patch with like Shiro and Apache 2, what Harley can do on that stage, because it's just a giant open field of Harley jumping around, swinging hammer, and you have nowhere to hide. And who's going to prevent you from hiding? Megaphone from Velma and word bubbles. So she gonna talk to you while you're getting smacked in the face with a hammer. It's the worst two-piece combo you've ever felt. Also, I am so afraid of Mirrorman's Harley. Like,
dude, he was nuts with it, dog. Like, he was terrorizing them cats out there. Okay, so I'm gonna put it like this. The reason I think that that's the stage choice is you got a lot of open space to operate. You don't want to do the platform zone because Velma's the only projectile character in the game that doesn't suffer from platforms. So you go ahead and you fight on that stage, and you have more room with two very aggressive characters to single out 1v1s and cause that type of situation. So yes, you are going to be in a situation where Harley gets to cover a lot of space. She can put up these traps, but you have more space to maneuver around the traps and then bring her into a 1v1 situation while your teammate is over there scrapping with Cosolix Velma, right? Cosolix is, the way that Cosolix plays the game, he's going to run from you and not allow that to happen as much as he can. And it's going to be hard to trap him, but it just gives you that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I don't disagree with that at all. I think one of the biggest things that comes from going to Skyrim, or actually platformer genre in general, right? When you go to that flat stage, that perfect flat stage, what is the statement you are making to your opponent when you counterpick there? My neutral is better than yours. That's what you're trying to say to them because you have nowhere to go. Their neutral is not better than Mirrorman's. So the biggest thing is they need to prove that wrong in every way possible, because we know Greeted and Yon can do it. They are a very good team. And with that team combo, you get hit once and you explode. So like, it is very, very possible. They just have to prove it. That's pretty much it going to this next one.
They are deep in thought, trying to figure out where they want to go and what characters they want to switch to. Remember, Mirrorman and Cosolix have to stick with the same characters. Team Vitamin Water will be back out there. Which I agree with, by the way.
I don't know why. I do this at my tournaments too, so I'm glad that this is like starting to pick up, at least for this game. But any single fighting game ever, I do not care what platformer or fighting game it is, and you already know we come from all of them. Yeah. You should always be locked into the character you want on. Like,
if you win, you stick to that character. I don't care. Oh, no, but he can counterpick you so hard. Yeah, okay, but you're up a game.
That's the point. If you won, the point is that you won, therefore you are already in the advantage of, what's your advantage? Oh, you're up a game. The loser is supposed to be at the disadvantage, therefore gets the advantage by counterpicking what they just lost to. However, when you decide to allow someone to change their character and the stage, even though you can change past those, they can read you and change before you if they got the character pool for it. Oh, but we want to promote people who have more characters. Whatever. All right. Right now, we do have, in fact, that Trophy's Edge counter pick. They did decide to go here. Makes a lot of sense. However, they did change off the Arya. Granted, Arya did 60 damage last game, so the Bugs Bunny is the option.
Yeah, I like it. I like the switch, but I definitely don't like watching Shaggy get taken up into the skies above. And dude,
I am just actually I'm not even just watching Mirrorman. Look at the options that Cosolix is covering on the right hand side. Everything that was a panic dodge in was covered, and if he decided to fade away, Mirrorman goes in immediately. It's their team execution together. Their positioning is always key to never letting anything get way too out of hand, and when they do have advantage, the next person can take jumping right away. This is perfect team, just perfect team communication.
You know, I was talking about making it a 1v1 situation and try to single them both out. But it's impossible. Look at them. They play together. They're not even two players. They are one unit.
That was Shaggy getting knocked out at 58. Now, that's the best move in scrambles in the entire game, of course. Rocket in between everybody will get rid of at least one target. But Cosolix immediately said, oh, time to shift focus. I'm going to go zone.
Oh, my goodness. It's absolutely crazy watching the way that they cover each other. Look how they played that edge. They single out Bugs Bunny on the left side. He's getting terrorized. Oh, and he lands a side air right before that hammer put him into his demise. Yeah, but the light bulb from Cosolix. These dudes are taking... I got to see their damage. These guys are taking stocks incredibly early.
Yeah, these numbers are going to look low. Like, very low. 217 and
172.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. Like, what? Also, by the way, Mirrorman alone did collectively more damage than both of them. So that's the Mirrorman is just the problem right now. This Harley is going crazy. As you can see, they were able to get a straight hit punish onto that down attack, but who was there immediately to make sure they didn't get anything out of it? Cosolix. And then right here, positioning once again, they're both doubled up. So what did they do? They break away. Up special on one side, Cosolix covers the other side with the up attacks. What does that now create? A situation where there's already multiple resources burned by Yawn. Doesn't matter what Yawn does there. He has to be aggressive to get back. That means they guaranteed get a double up onto Greeted again. They are just so good at forcing you into an unwinnable scenario.
Fam, did they change the startup frames on Shaggy's down air?
No.
Bruh, I don't know how Cosolix did that then. He like fast fell, the startup of the down air was coming out, and he light bulbed my man's Yawn into oblivion.
That's because, hey, man, look, thoughts are greater than fists in this game, okay? And Velma's got a lot of them, and she got a lot of things to talk about. That's a 58 damage. Look at that right there, too. Like, even with Greedy going up there to try and get that side air to break it up, they had 2 different dodges covered. Like, what are you going to do? There's not much you can do in that position. And, well, again, just Mirrorman with the chase, setting him up. Cosolix immediately there to cover the dodge down, position himself right around the safe. And who did he go after, Zip, when he tried to do, who did Mirrorman go after? Excuse me. He went right after Yawn. That way that safe plus that body over there means absolutely nothing. And the only thing that he could have did maybe was try to use like up special again with the tail float and try and drift away, but it doesn't drift super high, so that would have gotten covered. They're just who's going to beat Team Vitamin Water is always the question, and so far, Curiosity killed the cat, because it is, in fact, not, it doesn't seem like anybody at this point. They're just so good. I don't know.
Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, bro. This is NBA Jam. Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, you pick both of them, and what was the cheat code in that? Wasn't there? There was a cheat code in that where they couldn't beat the Pistons. The Pistons.
Don't do this to me. Don't do. Okay, all right. I say don't do this to me right now.
Because you couldn't hit a shot at the end of the game with the Bulls if you tried against the Pistons. Was that NBA Jam though?
It might have been. All I know is I just remember a lot of cheat codes from back then, but because you put me on the spot, I forgot. Like
the people in the chat are probably like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, just the fact that we actually even know like what you're talking about in the first place. Me and you collectively share like the same stuff because we grew up together, but it unfortunately, it's okay. It's okay. Look, all I'm saying is if y'all haven't played MJ Jam before, you need to. It's hilarious. It is a phenomenally hilarious time. But that is now our first round done, of course, for the Series E MultiVersus season #1 Pro Night #8. We have, of course, another match coming up, which is, I believe, gonna be I'm looking forward to this one. We got Ross and Cinco coming back. You already know, big fans of Ross and Cinco. Team Aegon by AOC, but Team Mike and Ike themselves being overtaken, and that now belongs to Swerve and Ramss. Swerve, oh my goodness, does not matter what you could do to Jake, literally at all. Swerve finds a way to get it done. There's a few of them that keep doing it. You got J Mafia, you got Swerve and Company, but Swerve is absurd with it. And we've seen what be able to do in the past with Wavy. Here with Ramss, now that Morty's been buffed back up again too, there's a possibility of seeing that. There's a possibility of seeing Arya, which of course he has a lot of experience with Wavy in that department. I'm very curious to see what they're going to go against the Ross and Cinco matchup.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious. I want to see what's going on here, but you know, I got to put it to you like this. It doesn't matter what is picked in this matchup. Team Mike and Ike has to put on. It's Mike and Ike week for Esports Arena. They have to put on. And I do want to bring it back into yesterday. You know, we had Tempest. You know, he's Team Mike and Ike. And ran the tournament, fell into loser side, and ran the tournament all the way into grand finals, reset it, ended up falling at the end. But the fashion he was playing in, he put on for his peoples for the week. I need to see it again. That's all I'm saying.
I just saw the Esports Arena tweet go up, and my first thought, because I am becoming an iPad kid at this point, is I grabbed my phone instead of the 3 computer screens I have, including, by the way, Zip, including one of them. This one already had Twitter open, so I am losing my mind. But you were right, and this is a very different look at what could be a potential sponsor curse, right? Most of the time, these sponsor curse, when you first get it, is you underperform when you first get it. It happens to almost everyone. But when it's your sponsor's week, better step it up a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Like, you better come out at least on the podium. So, and I think that this team is definitely one of them that can do it. Marrtoons and Ramss did it a bunch in the past. Swerve and Wavy have done it a bunch together. So you take those 2 strong cores, you put them at the same position, and they should be able to get the job done. This is, of course, in front of Ross and Cinco, who, unlike the others, have been teaming together since Alpha Test 1. From the very beginning of this game, before we even had access to it, they were teaming together, and I've been always a fan of watching what these two could get going. So, and you already know Ross always plays the big boys. He always plays somebody like just who puts the hurt on at some point. So we're gonna see either Superman or Black Adam show up, and with by the way, talking about buffs and stuff earlier, take a look at Superman. Superman he
got buffed.
Yeah, Superman is in a spot, if you will. He is a character of all time. That is going to be a problem dealing with Supes coming up here, which is a pretty solid option to deal with that Jake.
Oh my gosh. What?
Well, you got to remember that the Superman...
I know they nerfed him down a little bit, but then, why would you tune him back up?
Look, he needed it, okay? The Supermans, they let us know that he needed it, and therefore, here he is, okay? He's doing good. He's doing good.
Gosh.
He needed it. Now, here is a big problem that is going to be happening to anybody. As we do see, in fact, that Jake and Arya team combo come out. I kind of expected this with Ramss, because this is the main thing that Swerve is used to. Granted, there's Swerve doing what Swerve does best. He steals your life away from you. That was so good, taking a very early KO off the top.
On the norm, you watch these two, and they do that in tandem, right? The way that combo goes, they carry you up with the Arya combo, and then he ends it with the stretch at the end, and then maybe an up air. That time, he did it alone. He did it by his lonesome.
Which is crazy, because they nerfed that. You used to be able to just go into it immediately. But like I said earlier, it doesn't matter how many changes you make to this character, Swerve is just nasty with it, and he doesn't care. Great save, however, from Ross, and because Ross getting in there, they almost got a KO onto him. And then what did he do? He said, I wasn't done with him. I wasn't done. Who do you think you are? I'm going after him again, and that was almost 2.
Gosh. This dude is making bacon pancakes right now. Like, he is cooking them up, bro, in New York. Like, what? Oh, my gosh. It doesn't matter where they go, where they're at, what they hit him with. He's coming back with a vengeance. Watch, right? He just got KO'd. He comes through, and he gets the K. I told you.
Bro, there was a battle for who was gonna take that one away. Ross tried to go out there to go get the up special off the top. He got reversed by Ramss, and what happened? It was all 4. Did he get all 4? Yo, Swerve is so greedy, bro. He got in there and said, I don't think I'm gonna let you get that. I want all 4. I want all 4. And Swerve still got it done, and hey, you said it, and they're doing it. Team Mike and Ike has already put it on.
That was insanity, dude. Like, the way he was chasing over the top, like you said, he got knocked away because he had an air combo going on against Arya, and then, you know what I'm saying, Superman comes through, saves the day, knocks him out the way, and he was like, I'm Jake, bro. I'm a magic. Your weakness is magic, Superman. You're not going to send me far enough.
True.
He came straight back over there and up-aired him.
All we're learning canonically, because Superman technically loses the fin too, is that if Superman decided to go to the world of Ooh, bro, he getting folded. Like
folded, like an omelet, bro.
Superman is getting folded by Princess Bubblegum. That's all. That's what we're learning right now.
I feel like if he pulled up there, he's just a dude. He just won't even have power.
Yeah, it's like,
too much magic everywhere.
You were just a dude. Yo, like, I can't, bro. Like. But like, still, here's the crazy part, right? Superman did get buffed, as we said, and Jake did get nerfed down. Jake, of course, had a couple of the more overly abused things we'll refer to him as. And to be fair, let's make this clear too. If your character got something that works, use it. Until it gets removed, you should use it. There's no reason not to. But even with that, Swerve is still out here taking situations that were changed. He's adjusting around them, and he's still getting the job done. I want to make it clear because everybody likes to immediately downplay some of these players with the characters, right? Swerve is him. This is not somebody you can just say like carried by this. He gets the job done. I'm curious to see though how Ramss and Cinco adapt, because I think my entire focus is now leave him alone. Let's go after Ramss. Try to get Ramss instead.
Yeah. You gotta stop partying with him up in the skies. Like, yeah, you're Superman, you fly around. Arya, you want those aerial combos, not on him. Because real talk, dude, like that character can even reverse it on you. You think that you're gonna carry him up, and then he hits you with the right play at the right time, you might be saying night. So, but I mean, we didn't mention that. That's Team Mike and Ike, man. They're putting on.
I did say that.
Oh,
like,
you did?
Yeah.
Okay. I missed it.
The reason why is because you were still reeling in your seat on how ridiculous that performance was.
Hey, you are correct.
It's hard not to. Actually, no. I remember why. I guess because I just talked about Superman getting folded when he goes to ooh. That's why. I tripped it up. But hey, man,
That's
look.
it.
Hey, while we saying like, look, that the land the land of candy right there, and then you got Team Candy right there. They're getting it done. That's all I'm saying. Like, Superman got no shot at the moment. However, all jokes aside, now we're done messing with Superman. Ramss and Cinco have been consistently at the top for good reason. So not only do they have access to things like that soups, but Ramss has a deep character pool. That said, Swerve almost got an extremely early read and almost removed Cinco from the blast zone on Sky Arena. So Cinco needs to be more precarious about where he's going. My God, dude.
Sweet Bobby Joe Johnson, leave that man alone. Stop coming up there. Look at the way he fought back onto the map. He's just got it all under control right now. I'm loving what he's doing. Good dodge through from Cinco, but then he gets eaten up. He's got the weakness stack, fights back, and gets him sent out to the left side of the stage. What
an amazing stall, too. Not even just to continue to push onto Swerve, but like that Nair stopped him from being sandwiched between two rockets and a Sair. Like that. Against 90% of people, they would have fell there. Misses out on the up air, though, but they have just looked like Ramss just said, look, okay, if you want to continue to focus on me, that's fine. I'm just going to position you a spot where Swerve could go read a jump again.
Oh, my gosh. He is coming through. When he's up there, dude, it is a problem. I'm looking for more of the usage of the zoning tools from Bugs Bunny, though, right? Like, I'm seeing a lot of throwing hands and trying to scrap, but I get it. You got to cover your dude because they're on top of him. As if you just let him get jumped, right? You're gonna get a couple stocks taken off. Nice, they got a stock right there. Got him over on the side, but Swerve
just
is able to
barely
make it back
missed
on
that
there.
unarmed side B. Like, that was so close to being a Sair into that unarmed side B from her. Oh my God, but the Sair again. And dude, he puts the Sair out and then he immediately he repositions it within a second to where he thinks you're gonna go. He puts it initially where you are, and then that's gonna be a free fall away. I think the jump got taken away from Cinco at the bottom. So now once again, Team Mike and already up 3 stocks to 1.
Oh my goodness, this is absolute nonsense. Okay, we're carrying him up to the top of the stage. Are y'all gonna keep on challenging him up in the skies above and let him take this final stock off, or can they figure out a way to single him out grounded and try to get him out of the game? Maybe push him out to the side of the stage and try to go for a dunk or something like that. Okay, they got the air combo. There you go. All right, that's 2 on the board.
That's one.
We have Ramss at 91 damage, and they only need 1 more to take this game. And they've been losing stocks pretty early, so this is a scary predicament.
Yeah, it's not the safest position overall, and a big part of it. Oh wait, that's not the best. That's a Sair. He already burned his jump. Yes, that was so good by Team Mike and Ike. Even if it doesn't look like the most complex setup, right? What happened in that scenario? You saw Ramss jump up, force him to have to burn the double jump high, and then he tried to go, Ramss, Swerve. He double jumped at him, made him go high because of the fear of having to worry about that up special again. So what does he do after that? He fades back down along with him with the Nair to make him freak out. And then as soon as he already burned his up special, that A, revealed rocket wasn't available, and B, that meant that he could get a free Sair punish if Ramss goes in and gets it, and that's exactly what happened. That just they're just. I don't even know what else to say. Like Swerve popped off like crazy. Ramss enabled it, but like, who's gonna stop Swerve?
Bruh, I mean, he was looking unstoppable. Anytime somebody had to run the fade with him 1v1, it was over with. Look at him coming over there talking to both of them. Decided to secure the Superman KO, but if he would have faded left after he hit both of them with that, he could have. I felt like he could have KO'd Arya too. If he landed the 2 hits, yeah, it would have been over with.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. Here it is. Here's that moment where look at that. There was moments away from Ramss finally being able to get a KO in that match, and he said, no, this one's mine. Here we go, though, on this game, right? Stock 1, ready to jump again, and confirmed off the up special. That's why that team combo's so good. Him and Wavy get so much done with that team comp, and then fades away with the Sair. You burn your double jump. You get in, that's fine. You cover him, however, with that Sair, try to close it out off the top, and he already burned too many resources, so that up air from Bugs Bunny gets it done. Oh, that's not the stock I was thinking of. Okay.
Oh, I was punch, bro. Smack that app. Oh my gosh, right in the back of the cranium. Bugs went flying, dog.
Like, his spacing is just so good. Like, he's just always prepped. And right here, dodges right in front of that, covers through both, and there's that fall from Ramss. But as we take a look towards the final stock, I believe this is when they were able. Oh, actually, no, this is when they doubled up on the Swerve. So they finally got one on Swerve. Swerve tried to get in there to combo off of Ramss. One of the few mistakes, but it doesn't matter because he was on borrowed time, right? He was already up. But here we go. Jumped out of that. Here we go. Jumps away. Nair. Puts him in a bad position. Hovers up with a jump. And as soon as he recognized that, what's your options? You either A, dodge back down, but who's there in the way? Swerve. It doesn't matter what you do there. Almost everything seems wrong. The only thing that could have saved them is if Cinco got in there fast enough, but Cinco did not get in there quick enough, and that is instead Team Mike and Ike moving forward. And that sets them up against Team Vitamin Water. And I thought about it, saying who's going to be the one to stop Swerve. Well, Harley is not the most fun time for Jake overall because of that disjoint. Any disjointed character that can slow down Jake will make a good time. Granted, though, that's more in ones than twos. With a good team backing you up, like Ramss was doing, that might not be as big of a problem. We'll find out when we get to that point, but that's something to determine down the line. And I'm actually looking really forward to winter semis now because of that. What we just saw. We just saw 2 dominant teams go back to back, which means somebody's got to get folded in winter semis.
Dog, it's going to be so good. I mean, okay, so I just noticed something. You just broke down that matchup that's going to be coming up in winter semis, but then let's talk about the fact that State Fair is already done with their match. We didn't get to see that one on stream, but State Fair has taken out the Moonlit Knights. So, them boys move forwards, you know what I'm saying? Meth and Clueless are sitting there going to be waiting for the winners of the match that we're about to see, World's Greatest Detectives versus Palm Chi and Combo. So the way that World's Greatest Detectives deal with this team, because you said this might be an Iron Giant, so they're going to get some prep time to deal with Meth and Clueless if they can get this match over with.
Yes, like I said, it should be like 99% chance that Palm Chi pulls out the Iron Giant here. But there is worlds where it might be different depending on how they feel going into this match. Because K7 Show Off, of course, is one of those Batmans where you have to consider this might be a bit of a problem. You know, there's a lot of back and forth really amongst the Batmans and the Iron Giants in terms of like what that matchup truly is. Because the average level Iron Giant will not be allowed to play the game against Batman. That's just a fact. But
for sure.
the genius Iron Giants, the ones that are at the top, they make it sometimes feel like you can't get a hit in. However, in twos, with someone backing you up like Pred, you will find those hits. And you know they got team combos lined up for it. So it's going to be entirely based on who Combo decides to go today. Of course, like I said before, Combo has a couple characters. I don't know who Combo's playing of late, so I won't just throw out a name of a character. But I could see Velma come out. I could see Bugs come out. I could see something along the lines of that as good team cores to help him. But I think primarily it's going to be focused, like my comfort level depends on what Combo's character is to deal with Batman, because you need someone to keep Palm Chi safe. If Palm Chi's allowed to 1v1 Velma, might not be so bad, even though Velma's got some combos available to her against them. It's still, I'd rather have Palm Chi going and targeting Pred than trying to 1v1 Show Off.
Can we talk about how fire the name Palm Chi is?
Oh yeah, it's really good.
That is
I actually got to
is a
meet Palm
fire
Chi recently, so that was really cool. Palm Chi came out to one of our events at Armageddon actually. Oh, it's gonna be Steven. Okay. Oh right, I forgot that there was a Steven.
Oh,
all right. So this
is a good comp.
Yes. Oh, they're doing this. So Pred decided to use the Wonder Woman. We've talked about this in the past. Pred has actually won a tournament with the Wonder Woman before, but it was not with K7 Show-Off. It was with the Kill Stage at First Attack. So he does have a good Wonder Woman. This is a solid adjustment, if you will, ahead of them. Because if he decided to do this as a counter pick for them, might not be a bad idea. Because that's a lot of armor between Steven and Iron Giant.
Exactly. That's what I like, and they're both going to be, they're the type of characters that are going to live a long time on these stocks. But what I do like is, I mean, I feel like people don't mention the combo ability on Iron Giant of Wonder Woman. Like, she can really rack damage up on that character very, very fast. Wow.
I implore anybody to watch Key Wonder versus Skizzy, and you will see. There is quite literally a 0 to 140 true combo that Wonder Woman could do on Iron Giant.
Wow. See, I didn't even, look, I didn't even have that extent of knowledge, but I just knew, like, I've already played the matchup, and I knew that you could rack up big-time damage. That's insane that you can do it to that extent. I mean, I feel like that can't be true, because can he call armor at some point to stop it from being that
So
true?
if armor's off cooldown, then it's all true when you're on top of a platform. I'll show you the clip later. It's actually insane.
Yeah,
but,
you gotta shoot that to me.
One of the things, of course, is the fact that Steven is very good. People try to sleep on this character for a good amount of time. Of course, he had some things that were going on that didn't make him perfect, so I get it. Like, but Steven's got some absurd KO power with that up special, and the fact that he is one of the only characters who not only has access to a protective option, but he can protect himself too with his shield. Like, look at how many times they could burst in. Wonder Woman's one single time where she could burst doesn't really mean that much, and Batarang isn't as strong because you could either bolt, or you could put a bubble up, or you could put a shield up. So it's making K7 have to second guess when he goes in.
Oh, he's definitely having to second guess, dude. Look at the damage he has on him. He is stuck. Look, okay, that shield was blocking the way, and he was going to be in a scrap locked into the left side of the corner, but able to get out of there. And now he's on the side of the stage, big time damage. Oh, he's caught in the middle of the. What do you even call that thing?
That is the Rose Tether. I don't know why. I can't remember. I don't know why I can't remember exactly what it's called. But the Rose Bomb Tether is the neutral special that attaches to both, and that move is absurdly strong. And what are they doing to beat that? Bro, look at that. Look, every time he goes in, he's trying to go in with grounded down attack, right? Remember I told you earlier, that could true combo now. That doesn't mean a thing to when you have shields, bubbles, and armor up all the time. Their combo game was shut down by absurd amounts of armor. Combo and Palm Chi. Look how much damage the blue team put on, and they still didn't get enough KOs. Like, it's not like they weren't hitting them. It just didn't matter because they have so much survivability that they could just stop it before it becomes a problem.
Exactly, and the way that the synergy of the other team, like setting up those Rose Tethers and making it where, like, you got to make a choice. You can either go up in the air where you know Iron Giant's going to come up there and come talk to you. I have a good up special too. We can meet you up there if you want, or you can stay down here and try to time your dodge perfect whenever the Rose Tether detonates. So in that situation being created with a shield above, all right, so you're still having limited options because there's normally a shield hovering in middle stage. They were setting up situations, and you could tell it was just too much for them to deal with. They were putting a lot of damage on grounded, doing a lot of good team combos, but they just couldn't capitalize because at the end it was like, okay, armor's called whenever the big hit's coming. Bolts or armor, and you just couldn't get the final blow on them.
Yeah, and there was another thing that was happening a lot too. You look back at that game, and there was like 4 times where anybody not named Iron Giant would have gotten KO'd by Batman off the top. He had the uppercuts in the top of the blast zone, but it was at 94 on Sky Arena versus Iron Giant. So he's not going down there. He's essentially at like 40 to someone else's 90. So he's going to survive that. And not only just that, but you were alluding to the Rose Bomb Tether. Again, when you're coupled between both, you can activate the Rose Bomb at any time if you're paying attention. So you just blow up because they're coupled up together at the top. If you don't have that, you decide to use the bubble from Steven, which, crazy enough, I only saw it limited like usage because they actually were just so good at separating them that they barely needed it. Why?
Yeah.
Because shield here, shield up top, Now you got to approach the way we want you to. And the way that they baited him to, they took Batman's new favorite move in down attack, and they made it seem like that was the only option he had to get in.
Yeah.
But what did they do when he got in? They jumped him. So they need to figure a way around that.
Fast. It was like when you look at it, yes, K7 and Pred are definitely doing an amazing job, but once they did get caught, they were going upwards of 60 to 70 per engagement, taking that damage. You know what I mean? So Here we go. You're going to switch over to the Velma. They want to do a little bit of zoning this time, try to rip off those armors from afar, things of that nature. But I don't know. I don't know if that's the way. There's 3 dudes on the screen right now. Steven, a Watermelon Steven, and Iron Giant. It's going to be rough to maneuver.
The combo's been amazing and kind of just stopping Batman as well, because like Velma, like you said, will be able to take ticks away of those bolts from afar, so it allows you to go right after him. But look at how combo's getting in. I mean, even recently in a 1v1 situation, Light Wisp won a tournament recently in ones over Batman and Bugs Bunny. How? By just utilizing those shields incredibly well to stop their really good jump-in game. That has been not solved yet.
One thing that I did like just now, I watched Pred do a combo utilizing the shield that combo had put on the map, right? So if you play around those and you make those a detriment to their game plan, that's a good adjustment in this matchup.
And definitely possibly, oh, he's going to get caught by the shield. Yeah, no, you're right. Using the shield to your advantage definitely can help. But so far, bro, the team combos on Iron Giant and Steven have just been so good. And there he goes again. He made sure that there was no shot Pred could get up there and try to block him. They put the bubble up to make sure that the Bat Bomb does nothing. And they're now coupled together. They did get great health. But take a look at the damage sitting on both of them. 134, 135. That doesn't normally exist this long against someone like the world's greatest detectives. And they're just surviving. I am a whole liar. They got jumped.
Yeah, that juggle, and you look at where it came from too. It was a up attack into the shield, down attack, and then comboed off the down attack into the up air. So they had to utilize the shield to make that combo happen. There goes, that's a 201 damage, right? Okay, of course the up air killed on Palm Chi at that point, but the amount of effort it's taking to get the KOs is troubling, if you will. I mean, look at it right now. They're going to be in danger, eating big time damage. Oh my gosh, this could be a stock. Look at it, he couldn't go anywhere.
It's so difficult to get out of when you have them floating above you like that, because you have the active hitbox of that up air from Iron Giant. He tried to get a reversal by using the shield instead of the bolts to go for a Nair up air. I didn't even think about that situation, but they do get one off the top. This is a double up moment for them onto combo. That is 83 sitting on the Velma, but Velma can at least disengage.
K7 finding the stocks, finding the damage, and they're both finding the stocks, and they're able to close this out. If they can figure out a way to get a hold of combo and not get terrorized by Palm Chi in the meantime, they could do this. I like the fact that they're like, okay, if you want to stay over there, we'll put up damage on the Palm Chi.
Yep.
So they're playing this very, very calculated, staying together, trying to make sure that they don't get caught in a bad situation. Oh, there goes one right there, with Pred with the down dodge able to get away.
And right now, I mean, we've seen K7 show off many times. Oh, that's going to be it, though. We were supposed to say K7 show off has clutched it out many times over in the past, but Palm Chi saying, let me give you a hand real quick as we try to get you back into this winner side of bracket. But that instead was a juke because they go down 2-0. Palm Chi and Combo showing up and proving their worth here as one of the unsponsored teams, but they still got the job done. I'm very excited to see this team out here do what they do, and they beat one of my favorites. You already know how much fandom I have for Legendary Pred and K7 Show Up, but Palm Chi and Combo, they just showed that you got to think that outside the box. This is not a common team, but how difficult was it to get KO Zip the whole match?
Man, I'm looking at it and I feel like K7 maybe should have switched over to the Bugs. I feel he's played he plays the Bugs, right?
He's pretty much, from what I've seen, I've only really seen the Batman. But like,
I thought he had a pocket Bugs.
Might be thinking
regardless of what I'm saying, he was doing an amazing job, but the weight differential in the matchup itself just made it inherently harder for him to do what he needed to do. And Palm Chi and Combo, like you said, unsponsored, but these guys they were invited for a reason. This is an invitational, and these guys were invited for a reason. They were absolutely amazing. I personally wasn't familiar with their game, but they learned me a little something right there. That was some good stuff. And with that being said, we will have the first round of winners. That is solidified. In the loser side is going to be developing. We do have a match update down there. Greeted and Yawn went up against Ross and Cinco. And Ross and Cinco went ahead and moved over. So Aegon by ALC. Kudos to you guys. Clap, 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 clap.
It's crazy for me to think about the fact that Palmchi and Combo came out to Armageddon 1, and I think they got 7th maybe out of the teams that were there, with just showing how stacked that building was. So it's like, okay, I guess they got some room to grow, right? And they've always been solid. But what I just watched out of this today was a completely different team. We're talking C2 contenders to win the whole thing every week, and one of the strongest team combos in K7 Shoff and Legendary Pred, and they just won 2-0 against them. Like, this is a pretty interesting night we have so far, for sure.
The way that we've been seeing the teams that won, they won. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Those were smooth dubs. So we do have our second round solidified. The losers round is going to be carrying on, but for the time being, we're going to go over there with Yeso with that bag of chicken behind him, and I want to know how long that's been there. Yeso, talk to me.
You want a little chicken? I think we can have a little snack here. There's no chicken in here. I'm sorry, boss. Unfortunate, but I think my friends at Tyson and State Fair could send me a little something to snack on later on. But I do want to hit on a point that Ajax just made, which I think perfectly encapsulates kind of what I'm walking away from that last set with, is the fact that Palmchi and Combo, perfectly stated by Ajax, beat perennial contenders to win the bracket, right? They're essentially a shoo-in to make top 3 every time they show up, and they are in grand finals more often than not. That kind of matchup and that kind of team to come out and not only beat them, but win it 2-0 in fairly convincing fashion on top of just the series scoreline, that is quite a statement from Palmchi and Combo to kick off this bracket, and they're going to be carrying a ton of momentum into their next set. And of course, they'll be up against Team State Fair coming up next. And, you know, credit to Team State Fair, right? Solid win against Moonlit Knights, who have been really good as of late, have had pretty great showings. Of course, a win under their belt a couple of weeks ago. They've been awesome since they started coming to Series Z on a fairly weekly basis here. So State Fair with a very solid win there. But with Palmchi and Combo taking down Legendary and K7, that's going to be a tough set there. They're carrying a lot of momentum into that one. 3 of our Series Z partnered squads into winners semifinals, because, of course, on the other side, we got Team Vitamin Water up against Team Mike and I, both of them grabbing 2 wins in their sets. Vitamin Water doing, you know, much of what we expect from them week in and week out. Coming out strong first set, building that early momentum, looking dominant early on, and getting things rolling. And then Mike and Ike with a big win there up against Aegon by AOC. And as Zipmaster Flex pointed out, they're still alive on the loser side. They got their losers round 1 win to try and get things rolling on that side of the bracket. But Mike and Ike with a solid win, and they're going to have their toughest test early on here. Winner semifinals, they're going to run right into Team Vitamin Water, and they got to make it happen right now, because if you let Vitamin Water get into winners finals, they're going to be almost impossible to stop. So we'll have to see how things shake out on that side. Of course, that other loser side matchup, now fully set, will be Moonlit Knights versus World's Greatest Detective. And that's a matchup that you can see in top 3, that you can see in grand finals. That's how good those teams are. And it's how good they've been as of late. And crazy to think that one of them is going to go 0-2. One of them is going to be done in just about 10 or 15 minutes here for the day, which is crazy. So we'll have to see which one of them survives and they keep rolling. But Vitamin Water versus Mike and Ike, Palmchi and Combo up against Team State Fair. Those are our sets coming up on the winner side of the bracket. And of course, then we'll roll right into winners finals as things keep going here today. I hope you all are enjoying the matches so far. I think they've all delivered and been very interesting to watch. Do want to remind you, if you want to support everything we're doing here at Series E and continue continue to support the players and us here at Esports Arena, I would like to let you know that you can head over to walmart.com/esports arena today, and you can pick up products from all of our partners, from Mike and Ike, Tyson, Intel, and more. They're all over there again at walmart.com/esports arena, and everything you pick up over there, of course, contributes to supporting our players, Series E, and everything we got here going on at Esports Arena. So thank you so much for your continued support. We're going to head to a quick break right now. When we come back, Ajax and Zipmaster Flex get you into the next round on the winner's side of our MultiVersus bracket here at Series E. Too many brackets, folks. We'll be right back.
Tyson boneless buffalo bites have that tasty kick of flavor, so they're perfect for any get-together. If there are any left when your guests arrive. Tyson Anytizers Chicken. More kicks of flavor, more smiling snackers, more to love. Tyson.
We're back in the building for more of this Series E action. You see that boy Ajax getting jiggy over there. And Yeso, man, why you disrespect that chicken like that? You threw that bag over. Come on, man.
Man, really, it's like
Yo, I ain't gonna lie though, man. You know, that chicken got disrespected, and a lot of these teams got disrespected. We have nothing but 2 O's going on over here on this winner side. Well, the one that we didn't get to see did go 2-1, but you know, the competition is going to get even more tight, right? So we saw dominant team after dominant team. Now those dominant teams are going to have to head up against each other, with Team Vitamin Water going up against Team Mike and Ike, and man, that's going to be a banger of a match. But you, sir, you are the MultiVersus specialist of the universe. Break it down for me how this one's going to look to you.
Well, for one, you're right. This is unfamiliar territory on the fact that we're seeing a lot of 2-0s and 2-0s from the teams that you don't expect necessarily to get 2-0'd either. It's been dominant forces after dominant forces, and these two teams, so far the leaders of the pack have been the upfront run-up characters, and there's been supports in the backline. Very weird combo on the fact that Jake and Arya are playing a support role in some way, but that's just how good Swerve's been. Ramss positioning. Ramss has been working with Marrtoons for a long time. Morty and Arya, very different team combo, but Morty was always kind of that frontline character that would allow you to kind of get things going, which doesn't seem right because it's Morty, right? But then you take someone like Jake, who can rush in and try and get the party started. However, you are now doing that against one of the best vertical characters in the game that can beat you with a disjoint, and that's attached to one of the best players in the game in Mirrorman. This Harley went crazy last time we saw it, and it might happen again. We'll see as we get into this first game.
Definitely starting off pretty good, but he is taking damage back and forth, right? So this is a very good start for both teams. Nice stretch punch. See, okay, so you were talking about disjoints. There goes one for your troubles. That move is going to be utilized a lot here in this matchup. Look at him taking so much damage. And Swerve is on a tear once again.
Also, look at the DI, or the KBI immediately by Mirrorman to get away from that. Not getting comboed to the dub special. And then as soon as Swerve had them being chased, and then they doubled up. But that's a bad position for Cosolix. That Sair, just always like that long-range option will be there to break things up. So even without having zoning on their team, it doesn't matter. They have the ability to get in there.
You see the defense, okay, so he's going to fall right there, but did you see that defense a moment ago from Mirrorman? He got sent up, he was getting comboed by Ramss, and then you saw Swerve set up the stretcher on the side of him, and he DI'd over to the left away from it. That was very, very well placed, and also that KO from Cosolix was well placed. This is an even game here, folks, from two teams that dominated in their previous performances. Now, I like what I'm seeing here. We got a good bit of damage sitting on Swerve, but I was going to say he's surviving. He's scratching and surviving, but he gets dunked on the left side of the stage.
I mean, I'm scratching my head right now because we're at 5 minutes, 30 seconds, and only 3 stocks have been taken. 4 stocks, excuse me, but it took a while because the previous matches, the game was done by a minute in, so you can see there's a lot more respect going on. Mirrorman is adjusting a little bit around the jump-ins from Swerve so far. So what's Swerve doing instead? He's targeting Cosolix, read the dodge with the up special, tried to get him, and then that was so close because Ramss was right there. Ramss just barely missed that up special to get rid of Cosolix at like 40.
Yeah, Ramss was really, really there. He was there for the opportune moment, and he just barely missed. I'm talking, he probably sliced the socks of Velma, right?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of seams missing on them bad boys. A little bit of that elastic got chopped. All right, now, on the right side of the stage, we see he's trying to square up with Cosolix. You see there's a lot of damage on him. Swerve really wants to get that one out of there, but he's leaving his boy over there alone with Mirrorman, one of the best 1v1 players that we have in this 2 scene, and he ate a lot of damage trying to deal with him. This is such a close game. Neither one of the teams want to fall, man.
This is so dangerous right now. When you the up special almost catching it, and Mirrorman's gone into up special happy mode, anti-air game to try and send someone upwards. Up attack will get the job done. This is an opportunity to try and double up on the swerve. They just let go of the megaphone because with doing that, that gave away an opportunity to hit Swerve. But there goes Mirrorman again trying to chase him, and Ramss is doing everything he can to get in on Cosolix, but Cosolix not letting it happen.
Cosolix's movement and his defense, like he literally makes everything that people say about Velma's movement and her getting back on stage, he makes it all a myth. Because that dude does whatever he wants. He had the knife attached, he had the combo, but he dropped it. And now, like, if he can't get this out of there, Mirrorman will get his boy out of there. But finally, landing a down there that bounced off the stage, getting the KO. Red team is going to take the dub in the first round.
They had to fight for that one, quite literally. The start of the game was kind of slow-paced, but look at how the damage is essentially even if you think about who does what role, right? 303 and 309 on the 2 front runners, and then the 2 backline players who have been supporting or closing out stocks, Ramss and Cosolix. And kudos to Cosolix, by the way. There was a play that happened on the second stock where Mirrorman almost got knocked out at 14 because he got caught. He got red on a jump. So what did Cosolix do immediately? He sent the word bubble up, willing to take the hit from Ramss, because it doesn't matter if you take the hit from Ramss in that position. You're not going down, but he was focused enough to get a hit in to stop that. Did it lead to the game? No. But did it lead to a much closer game at the end? Yes. So honestly, there's like all the analysis in the world can't break down the fact that both of them just played phenomenally. It was a hot start. I think it was a hotter start for the red team. Blue team kind of picked it up as it went on, but the red team were able to kind of bring it down at the end. And you were talking about a couple of those drop combos. Those drop combos don't happen. That was a 3 stock to 1 game.
Oh, that's for sure. That's for sure. There was so many moments where they had it. Like, it was right there, right in the reach, right? And they just could not touch it. They still ended up closing it out with those opportunities missed, and that's where it gets dangerous, because in this next game, if they don't let those opportunities fall away from them, this could be a rough go at it for Team Vitamin Water.
Yeah, and also one of the things that's super impressive about watching these 2 teams go at it too is that you're seeing the maximization of what it means to not overextend and give away your shared lives, because you have the same amount. You're taking them together. Those 4 matter so much. If you try to overwhelm and overextend against a team like Red Team, you're going to blow up for it. The fact that they backed up as much as they did to bring it all the way back when they were on a slow start shows how good Team Vitamin Water is. But Team Mike and Ike, this is like one of the few teams. This is definitely one of the few teams in a long while I've seen make Team Vitamin Water look stressed. Like, they're pressed right now. This is only a best of 3, just as a reminder to everybody in chat.
Yeah, and I like that you're saying that they're making them look stressed, right? Because what I wanted to mention about how they're playing is we were talking about how they were a unit, right? They always play together. They're always there to cover each other. And some of the stuff they do is like, how did you know to do that for your teammate? But they're actually being pushed into 1v situations. Look at the way he's carrying Cosolix up, and then Swerve's going to go over, and he's going to make sure he's covering Mirrorman so that Ramss can keep comboing Cosolix and get him off the stage. They're forcing the issue.
Amazing call out on that. If there was a Mirrorman in the way, they don't get the cover, but because of the fact that Cosolix already burned a dodge and a jump in the skies, he didn't really have a burst option to drift back in, but the Sair just gets the job done. And now they have 108, and look at the target shift. The Ramss is now the one that's trying to overchase Harley. But the thing is that he's not going to be the one to get the KO. He's just trying to get Mirrorman to forget that Jake is there, so Jake could go in and get that KO off the top.
Exactly. He comes over there, either lands that up there or he's going to land that up special. Ooh, nice job. Going to get 1 stock finally. Can tie the game up, but so much damage on the blue team. Both players once again, and Ramss going dead at Cosolix. 1 more time for your troubles. Even the game up, but 140-something damage sitting on top of you as Mirrorman. 165.
He got
Harley
saved. Okay,
Yo.
that dare will finally do it, but he literally got saved for a second by Swerve because of that house. It sent him the other direction, but now they have one stock remaining out, just like a Ram, putting his head down and shoulder charging right into everyone. No fear whatsoever. They are already up. They're going for the ladder off the top. They do not get it, but that could have been absolutely a dead Cosolix.
Oh my gosh, I have not seen many teams do this because Cosolix is so evasive, and I normally say you probably should jump the Velma. They're doing it. Look at how much damage that Cosolix has on him already, and I like it. Mirrorman's trying his best to protect. He's going left, right, switching targets, knocking them away, but how much more can he do this?
We'll find out as they only got one left. As you already know, Mirrorman kind of turns it up a ton when he's on final stock. If you ever needed somebody to clutch it up, he is the one who gets it done every single week. There's a reason why they sport those W's for so long. But Ram's trying to get the Sair. He misses it. But who's covering him? It's going to be Swerve. He gets the Sair. And Team Mike and Ike guaranteeing that podium finish today during Mike and Ike week, making sure that they let that sponsor feel happy about it at the end of the day. That is a 2-0 and a handshake against the #1 seed, and not just the #1 seed, the dominant force that is known as Team Vitamin Water, sending Mirrorman and Cosolix down there. This creates a situation where no matter what, both World's Greatest Detectives and Team Vitamin Water do not finish in the top 3 together.
That's some sad stuff for those guys, man, because I was looking for the Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen three-peat. Now they're going to have to try to go down to the loser side. It's still possible, right? But, man, they just got put into a very rough situation because that bottom part of the bracket is stacked, just as stacked as the top. So the journey's just a little bit longer for them now. But these guys, man, the power of the Dwight sweater on that Jake, man. That Jake, I mean, he's got that Dwight Christmas sweater on, and he's just going to work on people.
My man's just comfy, bro. I mean, to be fair, he's over here in the Northeast as well, and I know that Massachusetts is just as cold as Connecticut right now, so he is making the right decisions, but also just making the right decisions along with Ramss. I got to give a lot of credit to Ramss because Wavy and Swerve are normally the ones that team together. However, I can only assume because of the fact that these ones run a little bit later, it might be a little bit difficult for Wavy to get some time in on it because he is a young kid and got a good head on his shoulders too. By the way, Wavy's hilarious. I'll explain why in a second, because that dude is he's a doofus. I love watching him in the local scene. But Ramss showed up after being so good with Marrtoons for so long. These two have always teamed together. That's another strong team core who always got top 3 together. They took that team of Jake and Arya and made it look like these are the two who have been teamed together this whole time. Ramss was always right on point to execute when Swerve needed it, and he did the most important thing ever. All Aryas want to go crazy and go vertical all the time and be the one with the most KOs. He did not do that. He enabled, set up, and always had positioning, except for this game. This game he kind of went off, but he always let Swerve do what he needed to do by making sure he was an ever opposing threat just near people at jump range, which would allow him to get Swerve lined up. Of course, again, this game, he went crazy. I think he had 3 of the 4 KOs, and I mean, he almost had the last one here. Look at that. He just missed that Sair, but there is Cosolix already committing to that down air, and what happens in that? You're stuck there. That's a free punish for Swerve every day of the week.
Yeah, he tried to hit that turnaround there, and he definitely got duffed for his troubles, man. That stretch punch came through and rocked him, dog. I'm talking about we will rock you.
Rock you.
Oh, my gosh. With that being said, that's a 2-0 on Team Vitamin Water. Those guys, we've already painted the picture. Yeso broke down how dominant they've been this year in 2023, and for them to fall in that fashion against those guys. I mean, they scrapped it out in that first game, but that second one was rough. They were getting terrorized, and they're going to go down on that lower side, and man, Mike and Ike looking good. You know that people talk about the NFL script, you know, what's going on here with the Series E script, dog? Like, Team Mike and Ike doing this 2 days in a row?
Wait. I'm wearing the black and white stripes. That mean I'm not fixing this, am I? Like, am I fixing the game? Hey, anyways, though, so that check cleared. Appreciate you. You know what's funny? You know what's even funnier about it? I just realized nobody can see my Batman pendant, right? So it looks like I have a whistle down here.
Oh my gosh! Official like a ref with a whistle. Come
actually
on, man.
so funny. Hey, look, all I'm saying is that wasn't holding the meat, but we got.
Oh, that's great. That is great.
Oh man, I would say, all right, but cool. I mean, nobody could realize that I actually have a 49ers thing up over there, so you already know I wasn't feeling too sad about the ending to that game. But, but that aside, I don't look.
You just upset me.
Hey, look. Kansas City also beat us in the Super Bowl as well too. So I actually wanted neither one of them to win. To be honest, I was the most aggravated fan watching in the corner as I was at the studio too for Winters. So I was watching it there. Also, shout out to Mirko with the Marceline rock out because Team Marceline for MultiVersus as well. Marceline should definitely get in. And for anybody you in chat, let us know who you want to see get in. That aside. That first match is now done for winter semis. We are talking about Team Vitamin Water and the loser side of bracket to Team Mike and Ike. Out here, when they needed to show up, they are performing not only well, but they won 2-0 against them. And they're going to have to face the winner of at least one Iron Giant. I'm gonna tell you right now, ain't neither one of them are going to be happy to see them on the other side because Palm Chi and Combo, I think they have a really good core to deal with them. But Meth and Clueless, they just don't believe in logical gameplay. They just believe in making you look really stupid. So I can't wait to see how things go here in this first game. And it's on Batcave, so people are going to explode. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, this is interesting. They're going for the mirror match here. And and it's Batcave, so, they have the dual team of, big, hefty guys that should be able to survive for a long time. But look at the damage already on Palm Chi, and it's a low ceiling, so you can definitely get KO'd pretty early.
Yeah, and one of the things that you have at least available to you as bugs is that move right there and that move. Up here covers a lot of range, and that rocket is an armor breaker. So every time you try to land down safely, not even just tanking the hit, you're forced to burn a defensive option around that, and that guarantees that there could be a combo follow-up off of Meth or Clueless.
This mirror match is very interesting. It's like, I can see they're staying away from each other, but they're trying to find moments to hit each other. But they are not squaring up the way that I figured they would at the beginning.
I'm sorry, that was hilarious. Clueless was getting jumped, and then he finally got tired of it and just mashed down smash. Get off me! Let me land! But it's working out. That's another up air. That's not going to be one to take out Palm Chi off the top. But I think this stage benefits, because look at what's happening! This stage benefits Bugs Bunny so much more than it benefits Steven Universe in this matchup we have going on here. So, away from this game, I think there's no shot that Palm Chi and Combo, if they lose this one, let Team State Fair get Batcave again.
Yeah, they're not going to let them go here. State Fair, they're having a blast. They're on vacation. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Oh my god. Also, I just gotta do this real quick. You know who else selects characters? My mom. There you go. I see people talk about Muscle Man in chat, therefore it must be talked about.
The voice, you gotta, you know who else? You gotta else. You have to drag that.
True. Actually, something else we realized is that he's not the same, but he's basically the same voice actor as Kuwabara. Urameshi, same thing.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, same exact thing.
Good.
Boy, yeah. Match point, bro. Oh my god, cringe. That sounds like you don't know how to have fun. But we're gonna have game number 2 coming up here, and I am looking forward to seeing what happens, because when you have that first game go the way it did, right? You had Batcave be very, very in favor of Bugs Bunny. The tunnel does so much for them, and the rocket covered so much, so it mitigates the issue of shield, because your shield's cute, but we can just tunnel under it. We could go around it. It doesn't bother me. So I think wider stage, not Batcave. I could see Cromulons if they want to get risky with it, because it's a possibility. You have some real, but I don't think that we go that route, because that means the Iron Giants are living forever. So the only targets are Steven and Bugs. It depends on if they want to risk Combo being the main target the whole match.
I'm looking at it, and I don't know about Cromulons, because once those speakers are gone, the stage, the amount of room you have to operate is about the same. And you saw him trying to wall off down there. Exactly what you're saying. You got the tunnel going on, and him having the shield above and shield down. It doesn't really matter, right? Like, they're moving around that. You don't have anywhere to go once you set that up. You have nowhere to play from anymore. They want something with a longer space, right?
Yeah.
And
Like,
so, I mean, we'll see.
Also, something that happened a lot in that game too is because of how often they were in the air and how small the room is to work with, they weren't able to ever really set up tether. Like, they didn't have Rose Bomb set up. So even with it being an active KO move, you're always in disadvantage, so you never really got to use it. So now we're going to go to Sky Arena, no plats, much wider range. Even though this is going to open up some more combo routes necessarily for bugs, they could do what they're doing right now. They could turtle, they could walk you over, and then they could bait you into things like those Rose Bomb setups. So we'll find out. Does look like at the moment that we're... So the universal sign, by the way, if somebody pauses out and waits a second before they start, usually it's done with an emote or something. It seems like a slight disconnect issue, so we're going to go ahead and start the match. Reminder as well, most rules work this way. If you are in a local or online environment and you have figured out that, hey, your controls are off, there's a connection issue or something, you have usually like 30-second stops to figure that out and restart the match. If you don't, then the opposing team could just hold the W. And when money's on the line, people will take those. So just remember that, and we'll go ahead and reset it. So we'll get back into the match momentarily. But I do really like that counter pick to Sky Arena. I think that, like you were kind of talking about, the space they needed, and they believed in the same thing.
Can I give you another niche rule at most major tournaments? I know this is for most fighting games. You tell me if platform games do this. Something I didn't know and I fell prey to and got 9th place at a tournament and missed the top 8. I didn't know that most tournaments allow, if the match starts, you can say, this is crazy, listen, you can literally pause the game and say, no, back to character select, I picked the wrong character. That is a thing. That is a thing.
That's kind of goofy to me, to be honest. I mean, if okay, so that's
the
tough.
other player has to agree to let you switch, but that is something you can do.
That's tough because, like, if you accidentally hit rematch, then yeah, I can say this, like, hey, I didn't mean to hit rematch, I meant to hit character select. But if you went back to character select in between the games and you then did that when you went back into the game, I don't agree with that. You like that, like you went into character select and you picked the same character and you said, "Oh no, I picked the wrong one." Like, no, that.
Hey, I didn't say you gotta agree with it. I'm just letting people out there know.
Now, did they say
you can do
now?
it.
But if you hit rematch when you meant to hit character select, yeah, I get that. That should be a thing. That's fine. It's like, hey, oops, my bad. I accidentally mashed rematch, because sometimes a lot of UIs have rematch immediately there. Most platformers go back.
The ruling might be the rematch thing, because that's what I did, and then after I was finished, the TOs let me know I could have went back, but I was like,
gotcha. Well, the thing with most platformers is that you go back to character select after the match anyways, so that's usually that would be a whole you problem if that happened. but right now we got game number 2 here. Clueless has been winning out on the 1v1 of the Iron Giant so far, which is not good if you were trying to see a W, because if you're losing the Iron Giant Ditto, that means that it's down to the wire of who has better combo game, and so far it has been the red team. As you see right there, Saren to up air. That's an active move that led to that up air too. Very solid team lineup. I didn't realize that would work that way that it did.
I didn't either, right? Like, it locked him into place and allowed the hit. And you know, a lot of times when you try to do stuff like that with very active multi-hitting moves, even if they hit you with a powerful attack, that lighter hit, that active one's gonna catch another hit and shorten the trajectory on the blow. But that's when you're up in the top of the screen like that, the trajectory doesn't matter too much. You don't have too much further to go. Up air from Meth, gonna get another stock, and these guys are having a rough time once again. Team State Fair is putting on a clinic.
Usually our eyes are always locked onto how good Clueless is at kind of shutting down people's approach game, but Meth is the issue right now. Good job, smart on Palm Tree, knowing, by the way, that you could break that if you have the active hitbox out from up special at the right time, or if you have combo there to get a bubble up. That said, they haven't had too many other solutions. The Rose Bomb will not lead to the follow-up of up air, though. That was an opportunity to try and sneak one out at an early percent. I like the idea, but they haven't been able to find it. Wait, this a big opportunity. There we go. That's a big reversal on the up special. Now all they need to do is get rid of Clueless, and all of a sudden we're back to a much closer game.
Yeah, it'll be super even. If they could get him out of here, that'd be great. Ah, man, there's a lot of damage falling onto Combo at the moment. He's going to go over there, put a plat, made his way back to the stage. Almost got clipped by the falling safe, but he's still good to go right now. Okay, now they're doing a good job. But my gosh, when you look at my man getting jumped,
help him, bro. Steven's over to the side like, hey, yo, you good? Hey, yo, you good? Hey, yo, you good? Just fading away. Fading away further away. If you watch the show,
that's something he would actually do.
Steven
definitely watches people scrap and doesn't really jump in.
Okay, but that depends on if he's with Stefani or not. But like,
that's facts. That's facts.
I finally got to watch that, so we'll get into that after for sure. 184 Rocket though, that was just phenomenal. They had so much target focus onto Iron Giant that whole last stock that when it finally came an opportunity when they separated and he tried to go, Combo tried to go get there to get to Palm Chi, there was nothing he could do. 493 damage done from Clueless, but because of Clueless's lineups, even though Meth put out, I mean, look, he also did essentially 300 damage. He was getting perfectly lined up team combos for him all the time. And you can see here, their abuse around the shields was just great. They didn't really care about the shields from Steven. The rocket was way too much of an issue. And not just that, but the tunnel too. And their positioning, look at that. He got over to the right, immediately lined himself up. And when they tried to get in, what happened? There was already an active hitbox from Clueless. It's like... Team State Fair is just they just understand. Oh, that too. And there was another moment. It's like, hey, yo, hey, bro, you good? Hey, bro. I think you got a handle on that. Okay, I'm gonna go call for help. Okay, I don't know what to do. But that's just how you feel sometimes. You feel clueless. There's the pun we always use, but it's the truth. And it's just, how do you get around that? Right there. How many active hitboxes did they have out to beat the armor? Like, everything.
He tore him up with that Sair. Like, it was shredded him.
And not even just a Sair. Before that, they had him stuck between a rocket, an up special, a bugs in the air, and an up air. And Combo had a bubble up. But if you are struggling with dealing with Steve, oh, that was so good. I didn't even realize he did that.
That was so good. Are you kidding? He called that. That was peak performance, my boy.
Like, there was again. Clueless was about to get jumped. He perfectly spaced it, not only to get the armor up, but his armor call was right at the moment where he basically ate the hit, and it allowed Meth to get underneath him. So he used himself as a big body block. This was a big counterplay that they had there, of course, and they do get a KO shortly afterwards onto Iron Giant. Finally, with Clueless with this up air. Actually, was it up air? No, never mind. It was. Oh yeah, it was up air. Okay. But the last stock. The separation that happened, that 153 was applied essentially by itself because Combo couldn't get in. And then once he finally broke it, they send him to the opposite side off the volley. So your single-minded focus is to go get him to help him out. But you just jumped right into the danger. They had a funnel opportunity there. I think that's where they threw, well, I won't say threw the match, but that was a big opportunity that they lost. They had them both funneled in with the shield up. That meant they could have guaranteed try to get a 2v1 push. Or excuse me, a 2v2 push going in. But Combo decided, I gotta go help. And Rocket just says, no. And that's gonna set up a Team State Fair versus Team Mike and Ike winners finals.
Man, when you look at that match, so first off, that KO that we just saw was like a 2D fighting game AA. Like, you saw Meth down there, he shuffled a little bit, looked at him, he's like, okay, right about here, and then he just did the rocket and caught him slipping. It wasn't even like by chance or nothing. He watched him and just caught the trajectory of him trying to go over to help like you were talking. That was amazing. But when it comes down to in that match, it was the Iron Giant matchup, the Ditto. Clueless was finding him. He was hawking him the whole game, looking at him like, okay, and I'm about to get on you now. His timely strikes taking Palm Chi out of the game was everything. That was the deciding factor of that match. It was so good.
And when you have such good defense from Clueless, surviving as long as he is as a big body character, eating hits over and over again, and putting a lot of damage on, you start to forget Bugs Bunny exists, and Bugs Bunny's the one who's gonna get the KOs in. So you're not remembering. Wait, I'm so focused on how long has it been since Iron Giant had bolts that I forgot how long it's been since Bugs Bunny had Rocket out. So now all of a sudden you're trying to remember when Rocket's in play, and then you have to go deal with that, and that is it's just so dangerous. So good job again to Meth and Clueless. I mean, this is not unfamiliar territory for them to be able to find themselves in a top 3 position, but usually when we see them make it to top 3, it tends to be in the losers finals from a good losers run. Not today. Today they're sitting in a guaranteed final top 2 position. I think it's probably the worst matchup that they have coming up here, with Swerve being on the opposing side with Jake. It's not impossible because they definitely can get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Clueless go into these matchups where you would on paper look at it and be like, this is bad, and he just makes it look fair. He just makes it look like he either makes it look fair, or he makes it look like Iron Giant just wins every matchup. He's so good with that character.
Yep.
I mean, I have seen them two get steamrolled before, but more times than not, it's always a good game when they get on the screen. They either smack people out or they put up a great fight. So up against Team Mike and Ike, that's going to be a great match. Down on the loser side, we have Palm Chi and Combo. I mean, I talk about, y'all got picked apart in that match, right? But we saw how they played in round 1. These guys are amazing. So they can make this losers run. They have to go up against Team Aegon by AOC. And on the other side of that, we have Team Vitamin Water still waiting on the match of World's Greatest Detectives and Moonlit Nights. So I don't know what's going on there, why they haven't got theirs done yet. So they're going to move forwards down there, and this is developing pretty good right now. I'm liking what we're seeing.
Yeah, we'll get an update on what's going on with that loser side top 8 match for you in a little bit. Broski Sanook Tears versus K7 Show Off and Legendary Pred. That one most likely is Batman Velma or Batman Wonder Woman versus Superman Velma, depending, of course, on what Oops Tears Sifu Zug Zug decided to play. He also has a Batman, so that could just be a Batman Velma mirror match. But we'll find out what's going on with that, because, like you said, the winner of that. Oh my god, I didn't even pay attention to that. I thought they were on the opposing side of the bracket. So seeds 1 and 2, I thought they were on opposite sides of the bracket and loser side, so we'd see them maybe in loser semis. Nope. They are, in fact, going to be playing potentially for 5th place at the bottom there. But first, before we get into that, we're actually going right into winners finals. It is now time for Team Mike and Ike and Team State Fair to go at it, and it is, in fact, a best of 5 now. So already, Clueless is starting to try and counteract that gameplay from Swerve, but you can only do that while you have bolts available, and he's got to be super careful about how he tries to continue to push. Meanwhile, take a look at Meth. Meth switching off and going with the Harley.
I like the pick too, right? He's going to be able to scrap. I mean, we did see Mirrorman have a rough time against these two, but Mirrorman also didn't have an Iron Giant to back him up. So we're going to get, I mean, man, the more I think about it, the way this is starting, I was going to say this is starting off pretty even. I'm looking at the damage spread. These guys they're not getting anything going. They can't get started. Look at this aerial dominance, but the turnaround from Clueless.
Remember,
double Shoryuken.
120 is like 40 to him. It just doesn't mean much, especially on Sky Arena. But Arya, weighing so little, can get caught so early with plays like that. They do, however, get Harley. Of course, Harley, another lightweight. Can't afford to take too many straight hits. That triple dare into the Nair follow-up to bring him out. But instead, it was actually Harley's Nair to get in there to stop that combo follow-up from Ramss.
Swerve just harassing, getting the stock off, but the nice backup from Meth going to get the other stock, and we're back to an even game. We're in the middle ground territory of the game. Both teams with 2 KOs on the board, but damage getting racked up pretty quickly on the Rams. Oh, and same with Meth. Meth is in trouble.
Oh my goodness, yeah, Zip, this is feeling like one of those best of 5s that's going to last a total of 8 minutes tops. They are going at it. There's no chill. These are very boxing heavy characters. That Nair is a perfect combo lineup, and what did he do after he had the missiles out to make sure a defensive resource had to be burned? And the separation. You can't do anything about that. You got to let him rock, and that's a perfect way to reset neutral and try and slow the game back down.
Yeah, and that was very necessary, too, because when it gets too chaotic, it looks like that's the blue team's territory. They're doing a great job in the scramble situations, and they're hounding. It's just the hitboxes of Jake. It makes it so rough. And Arya definitely has some good combos and good hitboxes herself. Almost able to close the game. Gonna survive at 157. Yes, that's Iron Giant for you. But if they can get one more.
Yeah, that's some bleeding out blue team right there. They have 104 down special from Iron Giant, takes out either one of them. That's a big nair though. That's gonna go ahead and get one. Swerve has to be super careful now.
Yeah, he's going to have to really take it slow, but he's got to come over and help. He does not want to let his teammate get jumped by these two characters. He's going to call the bolts. They're trying to focus. He's not helping at all, bro. Oh, but it doesn't matter. There it is. Ramss got both players on him. He gets one out of there for a 1-point lead here in Winners Finals.
MVP of the game, Ramss. He was able to not only get in and seal the game at the end, but he was always there to back up once again. That 440 damage that's sitting onto Jake is 95% enabled by Ramss letting them get in. Like, that was so good again. And also, kudos, by the way. I've been talking a lot about characters getting, like, kind of toned down a bit, right? Jake... Yeah. Obviously got toned down pretty heavily in this last patch, got a weight nerf again, got a lot of things happening to him. Still a very good character as we're seeing, which is good because that just goes to show that the players who've been piloting him are still that nice with it. They're making it work. But also, Moonjump was removed from Iron Giant. A lot of people said Moonjump was a carry to Iron Giant. It was again, to be fair, it was a broken mechanic that shouldn't have been a thing, but it was a way to KO people essentially at 0 very fast. Clueless doesn't care. Clueless is still making this character work, and he was boxing with two of his more difficult, more annoying matchups, especially Jake, and he was still keeping it even the whole time.
That's what we were talking about right before this. This is what I mentioned. He will make a matchup that, like I said, on paper looks like he's not supposed to be able to do it. But this guy, he's been playing this character for so long. You know, people like to stray away from the Iron Giant. They feel like, oh, he doesn't just do what he's supposed to do anymore. He doesn't care. He knows how strong this character is. He knows he has a teammate that's always going to have his back, and he can set up his teammate for KOs. I like that Meth has this deep character pool, and he can play all these different characters and set and come through and get these setups and try to counteract the team setup of the other team. And he just plays Iron Giant every time.
Yeah, which I heavily agree with that Meth statement as well, because I think Bugs Bunny into Jake Arya is significant. Well, I won't say significantly worse, but I think it is definitely worse than going in there with current state Harley as well, because you don't have to set up as much. You still have stage control though. You have the confetti boxes and you have the plushie bomb along with that nair. So even though you want to set things up with Bugs Bunny loses a little bit of range, a slight amount of combo game, depending on who your name is, because some players have absurd combo game with Bugs Bunny still. But the fact that you now don't have to worry about house reflecting your projectiles away, taking away your safe or anything like that, Harley is definitely a much better option here. I like it as they go into game number 2. Even though they lost that first game, it was incredibly close all the way down to the wire.
Oh yeah, that one was down to the wire. I mean, the blue team really had a chance to close it, honestly. And that was a come from behind.
You mean the red team?
And the red team had a chance to close it. My fault. And then that was the come from behind.
Team Mike and Ike has been the red team the entire night, so I almost did that too. I feel you.
But yeah, this is a good start on this one. There's a lot of damage sitting on Swerve. And wow.
Well, Harley weight coupled with, it doesn't matter what stage you're on, that getting hit by up air 2 that high in the sky, you're not making it out of that. Swerve's tracking has just been so on point with that. Now, you get down from there, Meth. Don't try to continue to fight Swerve that high up. That's a free double up, though. That should be 2 as they get 1 and 2 into that bubble.
My goodness, that was so good. I love how Clueless did his play, too, right? He jumped, dipped under, and then made sure he got full carry, start to finish on that, and carried out at 88 damage. KO'd, son.
Well,
not
that's a way
like this, Swerve.
That is a way to answer back, and Meth might get another one here on the Aria, but good reversal dare. He saw that approach from Clueless from a mile away. But, I mean, if Meth doesn't... That's a big part of Harley being here, too. Harley can box out Jake as well. Jake doesn't like disjointed characters. Now, I'll go into disjoints again for anybody who doesn't know, because I get that people get that question sometimes. But... bro, this is looking like this is basically what the red team was kind of doing last game. They weren't able to close it, but this is exactly how last game looked at 1.2.
Oh, man. And there it is. It doesn't matter how the last game looked. This one is going to go to Team State Fair 1-1 on the board in a prolific performance. Those guys, they got in there that time, and they were like, we figured something out about what y'all are doing, and we're not going to let you do it. And they closed that one out smooth. Ramss damage only at 118. You know, we're coming off of a game where Ramss had 200-something and Swerve had 440. Right.
Yes, that
and
was
they
so
kept
good.
them both down to half those numbers.
Yeah,
Literally, both of their damage numbers were like cut in half.
Doing that to Team Mike and Ike today has been an impossible task. I mean, even Team Vitamin Water couldn't get the job done against that. Like, that's how good they've been. And Ramss and Swerve are they're just absurdly aggressive machines who go for early KOs all the time. So sometimes those low damage numbers don't matter. But what did happen was they got KO'd early themselves. That 30 damage KO carry off the top, or maybe 50. It might have been 50. But like that changed the whole game, because the game started off with Meth getting KO'd first. They never gave one up after that. They just refused. To the point again of what we were saying before, disjointed hitbox, for anybody who doesn't know, is when you have something like a sword or a bat or something with an extended hitbox with no hurtbox attached to it. Characters like Jake don't like that. Or a fork. Fork is I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, like,
I could extend my hitbox with this.
This right here is a disjoint, because this doesn't have a hurtbox attached to it, right? If you will.
Exactly.
So things like that aren't a good time for Jake, because he spaces out with an extra extended hurtbox, but it's that Sarah isn't a pure disjoint, it's an extended hurtbox, so his spacing gets beaten out by these moves. So and also he wants to go vertical against you. He wants to get you slipping. Up special from Harley says no, because you get hit by the bat first, so you can't carry off the top as much. That's why we're not seeing Swerve focus as much unless he's already seen Meth burn a jump, usually by a chase early or a chase happening from like Ramss. So it's kind of making him second guess it, and that's why I'm a big fan of that deep character pool you mentioned earlier for Meth, because if he doesn't have this Harley available here, he's going into it with Bugs Bunny, and Bugs Bunny is only really using those disjoints off of that up air. But the Sair gets beaten by up special, Nair gets beaten by up special, only up air doesn't, and you can bait someone into that up air from Bugs versus trying to bait Harley with that giant hammer Nair or up special as easy.
Yeah, you're 100% on. You know what? I love having you here, dude. I love having these analytical breakdowns from this guy. I'm telling you guys, if you guys don't know, go follow this dude on his YouTube page. Follow him on Twitter. If you are a MultiVersus fan, this guy's got the information for you. But with that being said, so this game is developing. Yeah, it's not about us. I gave you your shot. No, I'm just playing.
That's true enough.
This game is
Remember, don't give me too much love. I'm wearing the ref shirt today, as we determined that refs are the other ones who truly win. So I'm the enemy today.
hey, I mean, honestly though, the Series E script was looking strong until they just lost that game. So, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll call it off.
True.
Maybe I'll call it off.
But it is best of 5 territory, so things are a little bit...
Still,
they can still get a dominant dub. It's not always possible. Swerve and Ramss, these aren't even the two that team together all the time. It's Swerve and Wavy. But because of Swerve's history with Wavy, knowing how to properly combo and execute with one of the best Arias in the business, along with Ramss, who is another one of the best Arias in the business, they are making it look phenomenal. However, I did say this before, Ramss has also a deep character pool that he was utilizing along with Marrtoons before, and instead of seeing the Aria stay out, it's going to be the Bugs. And I'm not even that against it, because what did Meth and Clueless do a little while ago to Palm Cheese Iron Giant with that Bugs Bunny? So this is actually seeming like a pretty solid counter pick idea.
Yeah, I like that, and then also the fact that my man's was getting KO'd super fast. That Aria was getting terrorized last game. So you say, you know what? Get that out of here. I don't want to have this low weight and the way that they're carrying their combos out. I can't survive. I can't play the game. And over on the left side of the stage, not getting to play at all. Meth, that first stock, you didn't really get to do anything. Dunked over on the left.
I love the way they utilize that, man. The rage mode on Iron Giant, just to put out a bunch of active hitboxes to see if one of the stray ones hit, and you could just jump out of it as the teammate to just go in there immediately to go help. But smartly on Meth and Clueless, what did they do? As soon as they saw Rocket coming down, said, that's fine, that part of the stage belongs to you. We're going to go right after Swerve, and Swerve takes a lot of damage because of it.
everybody on the board has a lot of damage on except for Meth, because Meth is the one that has fallen. So it's
True
really,
enough.
really even. If they can just get the blue team stock off of them, if they can get those out of there, they actually have a pretty good lead, because my man Clues is gonna. I'm lying. I was gonna say Clues is gonna live for a long time.
Yeah,
He got KO'd while I started the sentence.
in most case scenarios, usually yes, in front of a Jake off stage. No, so he just got snatched off. No, no, that's why this matchup is so bad. They got comboed into each other, and as soon as he got the command grab, you sent him low. There's like nothing Iron Giant could do to get around Jake. That was so, or excuse me, Cake in this instance. That was so good by Swerve.
That was insanely good. These guys are on top of it. Adjustment after adjustment by these teams. This is looking like it might be over with very soon. And there it is. The Sayer from Ramss is going to close that one out. What a performance. After getting smacked up pretty bad in the previous round, these guys switched characters and just put on a clinic.
The switch up to that Bugs Bunny was so smart, like it did, and not even just that, but their team combos were on point. That's something you must, like, it's not even like a question, like you must have those against Iron Giant if you want to succeed at the top level. It's just something you must know how to do. It's free damage, and they
free real estate.
Yeah, the right side of the stage had a very low housing market because they bought it, they sold it, and they immediately put foreclosure on that stock because that was within like 40. Bro, that was like 40 damage. That's way below market value. So I'm taking that every day of the week because Iron Giant stocks are expensive, and I'd rather pay that much. That was like that. The game was done at that point. It's hard to rebound from something like that against the blue team the way they did that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Iron Giant definitely got purchased and renovated in that game. That was crazy. So I mean, and he's like the deciding factor. I feel like if Clueless is having a good game, they are going to win. Meth is also definitely, he's got to back him up, and he makes timely plays. And he's really getting all the KOs and stuff like that. But it all revolves around Clueless surviving and putting on a lot of damage while he's forcing the other team's hand. And if they push him out to the side the way they did, first he got dunked right when I was trying to say something at 160, then comes right back to life, gets eaten up by Jake. Jake's got that guy's digestive system something else, because he took a bite out of crime, sent him out to the side of the stage, and caught that dunk. That was ridiculous.
I mean, like, bro, like this, if you think about it, when you take down a character like Iron Giant, it's already one thing, right? But when you're able to not only do that, but they were able to play around the Harley so much better that time with the Bugs Bunny, that mattered so much. Because now I think part of why we're taking a second is because Meth and Clueless are trying to figure out who do we go in last. Who do we bring in as our last? Do we go with the Bugs Bunny mirror here? Because remember to everybody that you are locked into the character you want on. Now, here's a very important thing though. Whatever they pick, they're stuck. Because as the team down 2-1, once you pick that, you go game 4, but you're the last team that won, which means counterpick advantage character-wise will go in favor to Swerve and Ramss. So if you decide to switch off that Harley and they feel like they have a better solution to whatever you want on game 4, they can do so. We'll find out in a moment. What did they do? They did indeed decide to switch. So the Bugs Bunny is going to show up. We have the Ditto. There's going to be a lot of nonsense flying around.
There's going to be a lot of safes, a lot of rockets, a lot of chaos in this match. And early on, you can already see Swerve is always on the prowl. Meth got sent up there, was only at 9 damage, and Swerve came up there like, I swear if this stretch hits you, I'm capitalizing, and you're losing that stock.
Yeah, I mean, like, just keep it going, too. There's no reason to relent off of, like, the damage in the building. That said, that's the one of the times we have to back off. You got rockets coming both ways. It's like, all right, look, spread. Everybody back off. Go to your corners.
You ain't lying. Okay, they had a good little combo there. Swerve comes over for the assistance and makes it where his teammate can get back to the stage. Swerve over here starting to juggle off on the left side. We got a lot of damage on the Clueless, but like we said, it's not too much for Iron Giant, but we do have 113 sitting on Ramss. If Ramss gets pressured right now, it could be an issue. There's a rocket in the middle of the stage to create some separation. Boom, gonna get that one out of there, and that was perfect. They capitalized exactly how they should have. They put the rocket up and had a wall for just a slight moment and went over there and got his stock done. So red team has a small lead.
Most dangerous, like, the moving force of fear that you could have is that rocket, let alone 2 available. But one of the last ones, of course, is a Iron Giant falling directly down towards you with that down special. Gonna avoid him though, and not only did he get in with the up special, but he was backed up by the pie toss from Mef, and they tried to double up. They tried to go both in at the same time. Did they sneak one out here? They might sneak one out off the top. Goes for the double up air, but he was not able to finish the job. That was so close. Doesn't matter though. Everyone else flies. We're back to an even game.
Going in a little too hard. You got a little too aggressive. I liked the combo at first, but once he started falling out of it, you know that Swerve is going to come over there and try to make sure that you can't make it back to the ground, especially after all those resources used. So, like, I mean, I kind of get the aggression, but at a certain point, you got to back off.
Right, the southern accent came out of you in that one. That was pretty funny. It's like, going at it too hard. It's like, you know what, man? Hey, down here we throw hands. We gentlemen fisticuffs right now, and that's what that's what it feels like, man. 100 onto Iron Giant, of course, doesn't mean too much, but a rocket not prepared for. He snuck underneath with the tunnel, and he was answered immediately. That rocket, however, did not get the KO they're looking for, so they ate the hit, and that now puts that on a long cooldown.
Yeah, that's going to be a long cooldown for you, and it's going to be a long time to get that KO off, so I like the fact that they're focusing on Mef right now. You got a lot of damage on Clueless already. Great job. Oh my gosh. He's got to survive this. He's got to survive the side. He couldn't get through either player. Team Mike and Ike making sure, solidifying their spot in grand finals. But State Fair put up a pretty good scrap. They got clutched on there in that final round.
That was so good, because what have Team State Fair been doing so well all day? They've been working together to both utilize the invincible bolts from the Iron Giant at the same time. So they tried to group up together again at the end. That, however, led to a free double up Sayer from Swerve, and that also continues the script. The storyline continues. It's Mike and Ike week, and Team Mike and Ike guarantee that they are going to finish top 2 at minimum. But the way they're playing today, it's looking like a final 1 finish. They might be taking it all home. I don't know who's going to be one to stop them, but they were able to get the job done here, 3-1. Phenomenal job. It looks like these two have been teaming together the whole time. Even with Swerve and Wavy's history, it looks like Swerve and Ramss have been teaming together since the start.
You know what I love about seeing stuff like this is like, okay, yeah, they're with their other teammates, and you think that just the duo is really cold, but then they get together and then they're still dubbing up, and it just shows you how good they are as players. Just, you know what I mean? I love to see stuff like this. But, man, those guys, the way they're playing, I really don't know who can stop them. The teams that are left, wow, Team Vitamin Water, it did fall 0-2 against Moonlit Knights. So they're not going to get a chance to come back up there and get that Michael Jordan three-peat I was talking about. Palm Chi and Combo took out Aegon by AOC, and Moonlit Knights are going to go up against Palm Chi and Combo here in a moment. So then the winner of that is going to go up and have to deal with Team State Fair. So those last 3 teams that are left, I mean, do you think that they can beat these guys?
I mean, here's the thing that's so interesting, right? I was just looking at that too. That was seeds 5 and 6 here in winners finals. In the losers semis match, like you pointed out, teams seed 1, 2, and 3 had to take each other out respectively in a row. That's how today's been going. It was seed 2 and 3 fighting a losers top 8 by the hands of these teams that we're looking at, by the way, here. And World's Greatest Detectives goes out in a very rare 7th, but then Team Vitamin Water going down 2-0 to Broskies and Oopsatir and Team Moonlit Knights. That means, I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong, it's been a while, but I think we're guaranteed a new champion tonight. Like, no matter what. I might be wrong. One of these teams might have taken it already a previous week, but I'm fairly certain, we'll get confirmation on that probably from Yeso after, that there should be a new champion tonight here at Series E.
If I'm not mistaken, I've seen Meth and Clueless win before, but I don't know if that was this year.
It might. I think it might have been early on. Like, that's why I'm saying I am hesitant to say guaranteed, but the Swerve and Ramss team definitely hasn't been one. And Team Mike and Ike feeling pretty good. Those gift baskets going out and that sponsorship. Definitely feeling pretty good about this week. Like you said, Tempest was able to get it done during Guilty Gear night. And from the looks of things, Team Mike and Ike is the sponsor to beat because they are out here in winner's side of grand finals, that comfortable cushion of reset. And that's if they even have to worry about the reset. We're going to go ahead and hear from Yeso on whether we are getting fact checked on correct or not, but also just to hear about how dominant this Team Mike and Ike has been so far.
I can confirm that we are not necessarily guaranteed yet a new champion, because it is important to remember a couple of weeks ago, Moonlit Knights did win the bracket in their second invitation here to Series E, and I believe that the Zipmaster is correct in terms of Meth and Clueless. I believe they won one of our early weeks back in late November, early December, back in 2022. I think they were one of our early winners, if memory serves, and Moonlit Knights have won. But I agree, State Fair would be still a huge win. Mike and I getting it would be a new champion. And of course, if you look at Pomchi and Combo, definitely would be a new winner. But at the very least, we've got a very interesting top four and very much against expectations. And I think Ajax doing a great job pointing out that the top three seeds taking each other out on the losers side of the bracket. And crazy to think about Vitamin Water, the huge run that they've been on, and they don't even make top four, getting 0-2'd there on the winner's side. That is really, really impressive. And Mike and Ike, I mean, Swerve just fitting right in alongside Ramss, looking really good. And yeah, maybe it's just, the Mike and Ike week buff that has them clicking on all cylinders, but they looked really solid there in their last two sets, and they've got to be feeling comfortable and loving the fact that they can take a breather right now and watch a couple of sets, get a feel for who they're going to be playing next. And I think they're going to be confident probably with whoever they see, but if they definitely get that rematch up against Team State Fair, they looked really, really good in that set, and they would love to get that rematch again, because I think they'd be feeling confident that they could take a win here today in Mike and Ike week, and it would be only, I would say, so fitting if they were able to do so. And of course, we will have that loser semifinal Pomchi and Combo up against Moonlit Knights coming up next, and then it'll be the run to the finish. State Fair waiting in losers finals, and of course, one of those three teams trying to earn their right to play up against Mike and Ike in Grands very, very soon. So looking forward to that. I believe we're headed to a break right now. Production gives me the thumbs up on that one. So we're going to head to a quick break, grab a drink, grab a snack, whatever you need to do, but don't go far. We have the run to the finish here for Series E MultiVersus when we come back.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here for some more Series E action. We're going to close this bad boy out for MultiVersus. We're finally at Losers Finals. It has been one heck of a journey to get here. I'm your boy, Zipmaster Flex. I'm still accompanied by the wonderful Ajax, the MultiVersus man himself. How are you feeling about what we got lined up to close this out?
Phenomenal as always, man. Every single time we get to come up here and every single time we get to watch everybody else call the action, there's always phenomenal showing from all the teams that have come out. Of course, this week being Team Mike and Ike week, and they are also backing up that sponsor to sitting on that winner side of Grands, which means that, like you said, we got Losers Finals up next. The determined team from that is going to be a 3-1 victory of Moonlit Knights over the incredible run of Palm Chi and Combo. They got all the way to 4th, so great job to them. You know you're probably going to see them come back, but that does mean the brothers themselves, Broskis and Oopsatir, Sifu Zugzug, are going to show up most likely, I assume, probably with the Superman and Velma. With the recent Superman buffs, you already know he's been playing phenomenally today. We saw an attempt at it earlier with Ross, but it was taken out by how strong Team Mike and Ike was in general. They didn't really have an answer to that just yet, but we're going to see them going up against Team State Fair. So I think that this is a pretty good team at dealing with this hyper-aggressive vertical team with that Iron Giant and the question mark insert character from Meph. I'm heavily looking forward to it as we start things off. No time to even put analysis on anything, and I was wrong. We're not even going to see the Velma. We're going to see the other half of the Mystery Machine duo in this game. We're going to see the Shaggy come out.
The Mystery Machine duo. Look at this guy. That's bars. But, yeah, I like to see the Shaggy. I think that he's coupled well with the Superman, right? So they're going to be able to carry you, and they're going to have good ground control with the down lasers coming out from Superman and the sidekicks from Shaggy. So the play is looking pretty good here. Both of these characters can juggle Iron Giant pretty well also. But at the beginning of this game, we're seeing a lot of damage getting racked up on Moonlit Knights. But I guess it doesn't matter because you don't need damage when you're Superman. He just gets you up out of there. Quick, swift, and in a hurry.
True enough. I mean, you have Superman and Shaggy on opposing sides. If you were trying to answer the question, how do we KO Iron Giant? There's your answer. These two have so much horizontal-based KO power, they don't care about that very high health that it takes to take him out off the top. And then when you're backed up by someone like the mobile game of Harley, it doesn't matter because Harley had 5 stacks of weakness applied up to an uppercut and weighed nothing. So I'm sorry, Harley's back got absolutely destroyed. 54 by the uppercut.
2 early stocks on to Meph. That is rough. Getting carried out to the side once again, and that was the fastest game of the night from the Moonlit Knights. Those boys came to play.
They wasted no time whatsoever. Big difference maker, of course, coming in from Meph getting KO'd that early. Also, the biggest margin to pay attention to was only 140 damage done by Clueless. He averaged around 350 to 400 pretty much every other game. So they stopped the problem. And not only did they stop the problem, but they stopped the backup tool to enable that problem. Hands down, there was nothing that Meph could do. So I think we are in a speed run to switching our character off of Harley and onto something else. Unless they have some secret tactic that they didn't pull out in that first game. They got a lot to figure out.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because that counter. I feel like you just in general don't go for a light team. I mean, a light character. Because the way Superman was dealing with that stuff, he was piecing and creasing. Took you out to the left side of the stage, right side of the stage, dunking on the bottom. It didn't matter. He was getting you out of there.
Yeah, you know what? To be fair, too, in my view, when I see Broski's and Noobs tier coming up, I'm assuming Velma's on its way. So that didn't happen. So they might have actually just got thrown off by the stage selection at the start. And, I mean, I'm not too surprised. Velma did have a couple changes that happened to her. Some are still making her work. Obviously, Velma's still extremely good. We're seeing what Cosolix was able to do earlier. But some changes to Megaphone and such did take away a little bit. So, more aggressive here. Very similar to Ross and Cinco with that Superman and Arya pick. But I think this is a hard counter to Clueless. I think that it's like, let's just take out the Clueless, like the Iron Giant period. Because Iron Giant's way to lose is downward and sideways. And you have Shaggy Spike, you have Sidekick, you have Superman existing off stage. You never have to worry about Iron Giant living to 180 to 200 off the top because that is not, it's just not an issue with that team.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, they're both. Yeah, Shaggy's gonna be able to take you down to the side of the stage, get some good dunks. I mean, even Superman can come down there and assist him with an up special into a down throw, right? So like they can really dominate down on the bottom side of the stage, and we just saw what Superman's capable of. The way that he carried Meth over to the right side and on the left side for those super early KOs. And I mean, so super rough start, but this is losers final, so it is best of 5. They have ample time to really adjust and figure out what they need to do in this matchup. I don't know though. I'm just here sitting back in my seat. I want to see what character comes out.
So,
that's what it is for me right now.
My idea in this team is stage doesn't really matter that much in this matchup. I think a majority of the same stages Iron Giant would want for survival only benefit the team of Moonlit Knights, because you'd want to go wider blast zone. So what do you want to do? You want to go to like Sky Arena, right? But then you remember I just allowed Superman and Shaggy, both with good amount of weight to them, to live even longer on Sky Arena. So that's not really an option. I think the only things that they have available to them is they need to try and go somewhere where they can control stage with whatever Meph's counter pick is. Bugs Bunny could show back up because Rocket does stop the over-aggressive play that Shaggy can do. It's armor moves that are going to be broken up as well. And you also have multi-hits to beat out the armor too. But I don't really think the Harley is that weak in this matchup. I think it's just the way that the Harley got played in that matchup that time. They just like it felt like he didn't really have like a safe opener. And to be fair, he got knocked out at 54. So that'll make you second guess any approach safely after that point. So I think we see maybe one more game with Harley. I think we see that game be played out on potentially Cromulons. Because here's the thing with how risky that stage can be, but why it could work. If you want to try and beat Team Superman and Shaggy, bait them to the speakers, try to take them out off the top. And you could also get Shaggy to be a little bit aggressive because lower blast zones, they want those early spikes, right? That'll make them overextend. You get a reversal, Harley gets a nair, take the game out. It's still a risky gambit though. I think every stage that they have available to them, like I said at the start of the point, was Shaggy and Superman benefit more off of pretty much anything that Team Comp wants currently, but you can bait them to play exactly into your hands. And it doesn't look like we're going to take that risk. We're going to run it right back to Trophy's Edge and see if they can make that change. Like I said, Harley is going to stay at least one more game, but if it doesn't work the same way, that's when we see the bugs show up game 3.
I'm with it. So we're going to go with the Harley Quinn. I mean, the stage is probably going to be a little helpful here. You got the platforms to help you on escapes and things like that. But, man, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to have to see something. They're having a good start.
Yeah,
a much better start.
I think my view is the way to do it is you got to take away the combo idea of Harley, and you almost have to play like a bit without thought, if you will. I guess is the best way I could put it. Like brain empty. Use a lot of uppercuts, or excuse me, a lot of up specials from Harley. A lot of great reversal, by the way. Speaking of overextensions, that side special just snatching out Broskis on a rare mistake on stage, so they do at least get one on the board.
That was good. I like it. You know, had both players on you. You sneak over to the side. Use the inherent movement that's in that move to skate under both those players, and then got a good snipe. So that was nice. We have a lead here for them. You have 112 damage sitting on to Oops tier, but only 129 on Clueless. So the blue team is sitting pretty right now.
Yeah, Clueless's defense has picked up a ton this match. I've watched him dodge out of like 4 different bad situations. That's another attempt at an up air. I'm surprised there was no up special from Meth there, but he was a little out of position, so I like the idea of reversing for that nair to cover a dodge in. So their stage control's been better. That dair will take him out. Actually, doesn't even need the dair, just the dair into the side punch, or the side special, the Superman punch. But the down special, catching him off stage, he was at 151, so it's not like that big a deal. But look at how much damage they've already applied onto Broskis.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage on him, but we do get a KO onto Meth. Okay, and there, they finally cleaned that one up. Now, pretty even damage-wise for both teams. I'm talking like almost dead even. But now, you have to get 2 stocks, and you have Iron Giant out there. If they can figure out a way to separate and get Meth out, which he's playing a much better defense this time, and Clueless is covering. But if they can do what they did last game and get him out of there, they could end up taking this one. But this is looking like a strong closeout. The dunk! Yes, sir. The butt bomb, the booty smasher. And there it is, Team State Fair. Team State Fair with the dub.
Aw, Cotton. Did you
I thought my man's audio cut out. I was like, what's going on?
All right, well, Clueless out here
too
looking like
good.
Sir Mix-a-Lot because baby got back. This man dropped all the way down there with that down special and took him out. Amazing job from him.
my God.
Look, somebody
The
said
Iron
it.
Stallion.
Somebody said it the other day at my local, during it was on Valentine's Day night, and Peach was throwing out backers. They said everybody throwing it back here in this bracket, and right now it was in fact Iron Giant was throwing it back, and you know what? I'm just saying, like he got the job done. He was able to get the down special off the side of the stage, but a big part of that was something I was noticing they were doing. There was 5 stacks of frost or ice onto Harley, right? Which is gonna slow her down dramatically. There was 3 attached to Iron Giant, so you can't really move anywhere. What's the opportunity that's gonna be played in front of you if you're the red team? You could rush if you execute, right? But what did they do instead? They coupled on top of each other the whole time. They waited until they decided to move in to use the bolts so they can get the invincible breakout, push him off stage. And who stayed with him the whole time? Never changed focus. Meth just walked with him. So that way, once they saw that one opportunity for a hit, that neutral air came in, sent him really low, wasn't expecting to go low, and because he already had to burn an up special because he fell that fast, he had to get back up. Special's now down. That's 1 special gone. You have to dodge in or jump towards the wall, which means that guarantees that you have to make a correct guess when Iron Giant comes at you. You didn't guess correctly, you got red, and they took the game.
That was good stuff, man. I love what we're seeing from these boys. I love that they came back with a good adjustment because the first game they got pretty much washed. You know what I'm saying? This dude is cracking up. I don't know what he's looking at, but this man is cracking up.
I looked at chat. We're now going to refer to the Iron Giant down special as the Among Us.
Oh, the Among Us? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with that. I'm here for it.
Anytime, look, chat, anytime you see Iron Giant land a KO with the down special, I want to see Among Us spammed in chat, okay? That's all I want to see. Right now we got game number 3. And it's going to be run to Sky Arena No Plats. And this is what we said before would be a stage I would refuse to counterpick to if I am Team State Fair to allow Moonlit Knights to survive longer. But it seems like Team State Fair's idea is they don't want to get juggled or spiked early. So that means Batcave and Cromulons are 95% chance. Those probably got banned. Also, there's no world we get. Bro, he just looks at you with like hey Goofy, did you really think you were gonna land back here? Just tosses him back with the right hand. Like it's the most disrespectful thing in the world.
So disrespectful. So disrespectful. That's something that Batman would never do. He would never get Harley out of there like a minion. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way Superman threw him. He threw her like a side character.
Honestly, it entirely depends on which comic run we're talking about.
You know, I'll give you that.
Sometimes you never know. But that is a chase. Good job with the, oh my god, I cannot believe that he misspaced that. But he already burnt. Wait, that. Alright, we take those. You take those. He accidentally fell and dropped down. Of course, that ended up getting back up, but that was almost really good. Just walking away with that for free, but the blue team got an accidental SD when he decided to chase with that.
Yeah, I mean, blue team had to go ahead and lose that stock. I mean, he tried to go down to the side of the stage. All his resources were burnt. That's what ended up happening when he tried to go over there to the side. And he tried to get a dunk, but he just couldn't make it back to the stage. But either way, you know, it's a tied game. I don't think well, okay. You know, I feel like I'm cursing these teams so bad. He's trying to get a dunk on the Superman.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh god!
All right,
god!
You see, when I started speaking, they lose the stock after I was trying to say it was tied. But then I shut up for a second, and then they tied the game back up with a beautiful dunk. But man, Clueless is getting harassed by these two right now. He needs assistance.
there was like 7 different times where both teams almost just lost themselves the game. There was so many chases off stage trying to go after Clueless, but Oopsitir just jumping around as much as possible, trying to keep that pressure going. That Nair coming through doesn't really have too many save options or approach past Harley, but it doesn't really matter. He's being careful. He's letting Broskies try to be the one to get in. Broskies has rage on him, which means any stray hit should take him out.
He's playing good defense. Clueless is trying to make sure he doesn't get clipped. They did let Broskies get a lot of charge off. He was just getting those off for free. He's burned off 2 attacks, but he still wasn't able to get anything off of them. Now, 183 damage. They haven't racked up the damage they wanted to on Oopsitir to try to get a KO. That was a beautiful dodge.
That was the perfectly timed. Oh, he saved him!
Oh,
he saved him!
Oh.
He still got him at the end, but my God, that was so close. They were throwing the sandwich over and over, and then the rage mode sandwich showed up at the right time to get that dodge. But afterwards, Broski sneaking in to get the KO after they just broke it up off that command throw off the top. That was real close to being what could have been a game to then them getting reversed. But Broski's was right there to make sure he finished it.
That was clutch mode activated, man. Like, because they were letting them come back. I feel like where it all started to fall apart for the blue team was they stood in the middle. They had Oopsitir on the right side, Broski's on the left charging, and I feel like they didn't figure out or communicate what they wanted to do with that situation. They didn't go hard over onto Oopsitir. They didn't go over and stop the charge up and attack the 88 damaged Shaggy, right? They just kind of just let it all happen to him. And then after that, a lot of damage racked up on the Clues, and we saw the game happen how it did.
I think part of what happened on why they were scared to kind of like rush in is because there was like 7 different scenarios off the side of the game, side stage, where that game almost ended a whole minute and a half ago. Like that, there was so much chaos that they probably started like second guessing, because that'll happen. You get into those situations, you start getting nervous, you start getting shaky, if you will, because it happens to everyone. You get in those weird positions where all of a sudden you are stressed out and you're not feeling comfortable enough. But at the very end, you saw that come through, hit him with the Birdman real quick, like, hey, yo, I see that's an open opportunity. All I'm saying is I'm going to go ahead and punch this Harley right now, and he was not ready for it. And that's just what Broski's been doing a ton. He did it to Meth earlier, and then he did it again. Like Meth, when he takes one single moment of attention away from Broski's, he pays for it.
Definitely pulled up on him like Birdman. What happened to that boy? He was talking. I'll put a clap into that.
I love this gift so much, man. Like that is just like one of my favorite gifts. It's like my man's like,
you gotta
my man's
do it.
Scheming, bro.
You gotta do the Birdman sound. If you're gonna do the hand rub, you gotta do the sound.
I can't do it. So I can't do
no.
So I can do it, but I'm gonna do it wrong. So I'm not trying to hold that. But sometimes you gotta know when to hold them, when to fold them. But right now we got 2-1, and let's see if they fold or not. They were able to get a solid game in there, but yet another game where it came down to the wire and they weren't able to finish it. Now we're gonna go to Sky Arena Platts. It is Team State Fair's counterpick, so it's gonna allow more vertical-based pressure game off of Harley, and it's gonna give some dip that right there. Thank you for showing me right on cue. That is an abusable move here on this stage, because you can constantly cancel right before you go to that platform with that down special.
That's so good. I love it. I love it. I don't know if that's the exact reason they picked this, but man, what a call by Ajax to inform us of some of the tech that's possible once you add the platforms to the stage. I mean, because we did go back to the same place. I don't know what helps them exactly by adding the plats. You know what? It's gonna help out with a little bit of the sandwich throws and the the laser plays.
Well, so remember, this is the Team State Fair counterpick to here in Moonlit Nights Lifted Open, but for Team State Fair, you get so much more than like just the lasers, right? Because Shaggy can reset somewhat here, but Confetti, you see where that is? You now have to respect him because you can't jump over that platform safely because there's a platform in the way now. The down special becomes abusable by Iron Giant here. Iron Giant has different ways to reset, and Harley can do exactly that. Platform, camp, and hide underneath it with an up special, or chase you high. So there's a lot of good things that happen here for the blue team. Do they get back though? That up attack was so good. The Sarah doesn't get the knockout, but good delay doesn't matter though. You so much. There was no shot you were making that back.
There was a good play there by Clueless whenever the initial carry-off from Oostir onto Meth was happening. He threw a projectile and hit him pinpoint and stopped it, but then here came Broskies to save the day. They racked up 2 good KOs. 159 damage has been sitting on Broskies for a very long time now. Finally touches him again, 176, gets a full charge off. And they're going to have to worry about this, right? Because they got a lot of damage on Clueless again. And he gets hit by like a powered-up sidekick or something. Oh, he got hit by the power...
Oh my god, that was so close. He gets reversed, but my god, like it was so ridiculous. However, he's gonna get caught by the Nair off stage, so there goes Oopsitir catching him off stage, and now 3 stocks up to 2. Moonlit Knights trying to finish this 3-1 here potentially, going for the up airs off the top. Might be able to sneak one out early, but like you said, Shaggy, very difficult to KO on this stage, as well as Soups, but this could be a big opportunity. However, he had to recover Zip, so he couldn't commit to the spike to try and take out Soups.
Yeah, he had Broskies over there, and that guy is no joke, no slouch. He's playing Shaggy. Shaggy is going to make it happen. So he had to back off, and he just allowed Oopster to get back on stage using that side special. Now, I mean, we got a lot of damage on the Oops tier, but that 2-stock lead is serious right now. We saw how long Broski survived, so I don't know what their main option is going to be, what they're really going to focus on, but man, they really need to focus on defense because the uppercut is going to close the set, and they weren't able to defend for too much longer. Team State Fair is going to fall here in 3rd place in Losers Finals, and Broski and Oops tier Moonlit Knights will be moving into Grand Finals to go up against Team Mike and Ike.
Yes, not an unfamiliar territory for Team State Fair, getting another trip to that podium, standing right there on the corner. They also got the W of make a chat turned into what we turned it into, but still, Team State Fair, phenomenal play. We're always impressed by Meth and Clueless. Pretty much, I think that this is like the favorite team for you at this point, whenever time they show up. And Moonlit Knights, though, these two, they're family. These are 2 brothers who play together, and you already know when you get that team synergy to the way you can. It doesn't matter what characters you use. This is usually a team that we've seen with Velma attached to it. Insert whatever character Oopsitir is playing, primarily with Soups for a long time. Soups got nerfed a bit. Felt more comfortable with going with Shaggy. Felt comfortable for a bit going with Batman. But it looks like the Superman is back. And we're going to see that Shaggy continue to be out here because that Shaggy from Broskies is looking phenomenal. Will it be enough, though, Zip, to beat Team Mike and Ike in the winter side of Grants?
You tell me, brother, because I'm looking at the bracket. They just beat the guys that took them out, right? The first round of the tournament, Team State Fair beat Moonlit Knights 2-1, right? So they just beat the guys in 3-1. They beat the guys that put them in the loser side. So obviously they've powered up. They're playing better as the tournament's gone on. But man, the guys the guys up top, Team Mike and Ike, Swerve has been playing so good, and then his teammate Ramss. I mean, I don't know. The way they've been playing, it doesn't look like anyone can stop them.
It doesn't feel like it. Also, chat's killing me. I just looked down there. Two brothers, family, okay? Now, we're not going to get into it, but it is possible to have two players who are both have the same parents. It is not a Fortnite reference. I can't. But still, like you said, I mean, Team State Fair looks so good, but even if Team State Fair won, the issue for everyone at hand is Team Mike and Ike sitting in the winner side of Grands. Swerve and Ramss looking like the same core that Swerve and Wavy have been able to do up to this whole point. The same damage and phenomenal play that Marrtoons and Ramss have been able to do up to this point. But it's the combination of both of those teams that have become this unstoppable force that is Team Mike and Ike on Team Mike and Ike week. That, again, bro, look, just... That is it's the most disrespectful move in the game. Like, it's not close. It's getting, even the back throw is disrespectful, but he just grabs you, holds you, looks at you, says, don't you feel kind of stupid right now? And then just throws you off the stage. It's just... Oh,
gosh.
That's him showing mercy, too, because he can make that so much worse. Like, I love the lines from Soups where he's like, all right, everybody, let's have some fun. Like a low-tone fun, because he knows he has to hold back against everyone. I can't.
He would schmollywop every single person. Well, I mean, you know, with the lore that the internet was teaching me, I don't know, man. I feel like Shaggy at maximum power might be able to scrap with him.
Hey, you know what? all right, look, okay, all I'm saying, I'm gonna
You know what? I can't believe I just said that.
No, we're going down the rabbit hole now, okay? Look,
we already talked about it. If he pulls up from Atlanta, so never mind.
All I'm saying, chat, okay? Think about this for a second. Think about this, okay? There are a lot of references. To power levels. Goku from MultiVersus. All I'm saying, just saying, it could happen. You never know. Internet shuts down. That's all I know. That was ever the case. But we'll see. Amazing job from Moonlit Knights taking it out. And like you said, full powered Shaggy is a menace. And they made it look like that. And now we're going to see these two go up against the team Mike and Ike. However, there is a bit of a problem for them on the opposing side of this aisle. Jake is really good at beating Shaggy. Jake is also really good at handling Superman. Now, I won't say just straight up beat Superman because I think that matchup goes back and forth nowadays. But in the 1v1 setting, when you're trying to chase Jake off stage, what's the likelihood that you hit Jake half the time? Very low, because Jake has so much stall. And that's the Jake's trying to tell me to be quiet. but he has so much stall. He has so much ability to play around what you want to do off stage, and he has that up special to reverse you. So it's not the easiest thing in the world. Then you couple that with the ever armor breaking Arya. So all that armor that you had doesn't mean a thing, because you have turn attack that now applies armor breaking moves non-stop. You have Nair 2 from Jake that has armor breaking options. So rage mode doesn't matter that much. Neutral attack and up attack from Superman, they matter, but they won't matter as much because you have ways around that. And all the chasers off stage, you have two very mobile characters that can get around that. So it's not going to be super easy for them to deal with it. And I think that if it looks really bad to start things off here in Grand Finals, we'll see the Velma show up. But guess what? It's not even going to be a thought about idea, because we're just going to eliminate that entirely, and we're going to pull out a much smarter counter pick that I wasn't even ready for Zip. We're going to use the Morty instead.
I like the Morty, and I like the carry attempt, trying to get him out of there. Superman tried to go over and get an early gimp, but almost got turned around on. Luckily, Superman has that side special to get him back to the stage, but so much damage was done over on the side of that. What a scramble for these teams to start this one off. Everyone's just in the middle, throwing fisticuffs, damage for damage, blow for blow.
Yeah, they are scrapping. I mean, this is kind of similar to what we saw in Winners Finals, too. The thing is, scrapping endlessly with Superman does lead you to losing most of the time. But because it's Swerve and that Jake, or the Cake here, it's not easy to do as he catches him with the Sarah once again. That's a command grab. You're going to get to... Oh, no, he got out. He got out quick enough, so he's able to avoid it, but that normally would have been a KO.
You are correct, and I mean, also, I always talk about how good that dang spaceship is, man. Like, that is such a save move. Oh my gosh, there's pressure on the side. Oops here was really hounding, but the stall that you brought up, Swerve utilizing his character's movement perfectly, and another duff to get the second stop off of the red team. Team Mike and I coming out here in high fashion.
And they're just not stopping as they continue to... They had a great power play right there. They had to back off, though. They knew that the snakes were off cooldown. They knew that there was a free push, so they repositioned very smartly. Here comes that Sarah, though, even with the one stack of ice. That doesn't really matter that much. Up special, though, and they get reversed by the Morty up here. That was so well played by Broskis.
I'll take it, though, right? Like, you did a good amount of damage to Oops tier, and I mean, that stock's time was coming, right? So, you know, it's a good trade in my eyes. But, man, Oops here was scrapping and putting some good damage on to Ramss. I don't know if Ramss wants to solo scrap with Oops here, honestly. I feel like it was going way better when we had Swerve doing that job.
Yeah, so far it's not been too bad. He has been getting some damage in, but it's mostly been off the follow-ups. That up attack does get checked by the other up attack with armor as well. Though Sarah is a sweet spot, but it wasn't enough. Save point comes through. They have a double up here on the side. Oh, wait a minute, that's a huge play, but they don't get the closeout. Up here comes through though. They get him anyways. They now have at least an opportunity here to try and steal a stock away against Jake, and a save point save again, but that's the volley off Zip.
Yo, hey, that dude Swerve is something else, ain't he?
He really is.
That dude is something else. But I just want to call back to all the stuff you talked about in the matchup. You talked about how that Jake or Cake does against these characters. And I think one thing you forgot to mention was the Mike and Ike week power-up.
I did
guys
mention
are definitely saucing for the... Wait, you didn't say that.
I did.
Did you say that?
There's video proof,
Did
bro.
you say that?
There's proof. I got receipts, and it's this stream. I said it. It happened.
All right.
All I'm
Okay, he
saying
said
is-
it.
all right, I'm
The
never
Mike and
gonna do
Ike
that.
power-up is the one.
All I'm saying is
These
I'm never doing
guys
that
are
again.
turning up.
I'm never jumping in again like that, by the way, because I had to use a new camera today, and that zoom in made me look pasty. I promise I've touched grass and seen sunlight, chat. I swear.
That man said he the sour cream dream.
I'm trying to get back to the cinnamon Pop-Tart, all right? That's all I need. I need to get back outside. right now, we got game number... Bro, you really just called me the sour cream dream, bro. You know what?
I'm sorry.
You know what?
I'm sorry.
Hey, you know what? Some people find that delicious. I'm gonna say that I needed that today. I'll take that as a compliment, I guess, even though sour cream's nasty. But we got the next game coming up, and anybody wants to come at me on that? All right, sour cream, terrible.
Hey, Jax,
I don't
I
want to
knew
hear
I
that.
liked you. I knew I liked you.
You my boy. You already know
sour
that,
cream sucks.
bro. It's spicy mayo, okay? Like that when people. When you see the non-seasoned jokes, you're like, ooh, that's spicy. They had sour cream, okay? All right, look. I'm gonna introduce some of y'all to Sazon on Adobo real soon. All right, we're gonna help you out. We're gonna bring you up. Kind of like these spicy games we got. These games are fire, and this, I mean, couldn't have asked for better. Like you said, Team Mike and Ike out here dominant, and it's just only been that way since the get-go, and they haven't let off ever since. That's game number 2 now with this counter pick. Oh, this idea of using Morty, it did look good in that game, though. I will say.
No, yeah, they had a chance. There was a lot of opportunities that they had, and there was a couple of those edge guards from Oops here. Honestly, if he just a little bit closer, if he had like 3 missed chances to steal stocks, if he could have got those, that game goes a whole nother direction. And here he goes over on the side, perfect dodge from Ramss to get back on stage. But I don't know, is Swerve gonna be able to do it this time? Yes. He's going to be able to stall like you were speaking of, get back on stage. The down air coming out from Broski's, hounding. This man has not been able to make it back yet. Finally gets back on. And Oops here is just having one heck of a game.
Yeah, he is controlling that side of the stage so well, but there goes a reversal play from Ramss, getting in there perfectly to get the Sair to send Morty back off, but you were right. Broski's and Oops here had dominant ledge control. Now it's the blue team's turn. Can they get something out of this? There goes the command grab. Waits it out, so that way if he went off stage, he didn't want to get spiked or reversed by Broski's. That was smart to only take the up air.
That was good. I like it. And he had the coverage also from his teammate, but not going to be able to get covered right there. Going to get caught with the up air from Morty. Broski's getting the first KO on the board and right back at him. Ramss sitting at 107 damage, but able to even the game.
And here comes that Nair, sending him back off stage. Ramss does get broken up in the middle of that, but a lot of damage is on Ramss, and that is a borrow time stock. You already know if it's Arya. He decides, what in the world was that option? They decide to go for Dare into drop down fair. They end up getting the KO anyways, but there was a lot of extra survivability that happened to Ramss there and there.
Yeah, it definitely did. I mean, they ended up getting the stock off of Ramss finally, but I mean,
Felt like
there was a lot of work done. There was a lot of work done by the blue team.
It was one of those moments where, like, look, I could just take you out, but look at this though. Look at what I can pull off. And right now, Swerve is in the middle of that. But remember what we said pre-grand finals. It is very difficult to hit Jake or Cake. I keep saying wrong one on this one. Cake off stage, particularly Swerve. His awareness is really good.
Oh yeah, the way that he plays, the way he controls his movement is just so clean. But Oops here is just doing a great job of harassing. It's like, yeah, you can keep moving away, but I'm still on top of you, man. That was such a good nair. He got that stock off, and he's throwing. He really tried to keep Ramss out there on the side of the stage so they could solidify this round. But great job to escape. So much damage onto Oops here. Finally get that one out of there. Team combo, you have an opportunity here. They really needed to make that happen.
They can still make it happen, possibly right here. They're chasing, goes for the dare, volley off the bottom, but it won't be enough just yet. They have it, they're chasing him again. Up attack won't be enough to come through, and there goes Oopsitir getting in the middle of that. They can sneak this one away, as they do. They chased so hard that they ended up getting caught by the Sair, pushing him off stage and removing him from the picture. So they end up taking the game instead by a mistake, a rare mistake from Team Mike and Ike, as they move this to 1 game apiece.
The moral of the story, do not play with Oopsitir on the side of the stage. Are you kidding? It didn't matter how many times my man's Swerve got back to the stage. Oopsitir was right there. He said, okay, you got past me this time, but I'm just going to punch you 1 time, get you back over there, and then we're going to do this again. We're going to do it again until I get you out of here. And I mean, golly, what do you do about it?
Like, not even just his movement that he had, but also there was something else that he was doing in center where he was controlling center and he was using up attack along with armor to make sure that he slowed down any attempts at trying to get in with the blade. So it was really, really smart of them to kind of shut that down. But man, that was a really good comeback from them. But Swerve and Ramss, so used to saying Swerve and Wavy, they had to lead most of the game, and they had a really good attempt at getting a power play on there. Broski's defense was just a little bit better. So going into this next game, I don't really see a change of character. Maybe a stage change. I would not be surprised to see Sky Arena with no plan show back up again, because that's usually where Swerve and Wavy like to go. So Swerve and Ramss would probably go there too. They did it earlier. And it just gives Arya that little bit of extra room to survive a bit, and they don't really care so much about off the top. You saw how many times they got off the bottom, off the side KOs as well.
Yeah, they're able to play it in both ways. But so this grand finals is looking good. I love the way it's starting. We had a great first game, great adjustments in game number 2, and good player performances. People stepping up and really making stuff happen for the teams. Whenever if they don't do that, it could just run away from them. My man's Oopsitir in that game was so good. And we're gonna get into game number 3 here of grand finals. The Moonlit Knights are trying to get this reset, but Team Mike and Ike standing strong. We're gonna see if they're gonna be able to. Hey man, look, dog. I'm trying to be professional and just do some regular old commentary, and my man's just want to start the game off and get a KO in 3 seconds.
That was so good. He might answer right back. He goes for a high recovery that time, smartly knowing that at best you could just get hit by an up air and you should be fine. But Oopsitir wasting no time, and this is after he missed that initial nair, that previous stock before. That's double up Sair though, even with Superman. Okay, he does get back in. It did not seem like he was going to for a second, trying to catch another early KO off the top.
He's trying, but I mean, is it gonna happen again? Because if it does, I might start to think that this is not doable.
Well,
there we go. That was a good KO.
That's Sair's
he got
one.
142 on Oopsitir. All right, come on. Let's see what's going on here. He's got the skateboard combo, and opts to go over and help jump Morty. Nice play. You know what?
I do like the idea of that too. Yeah, because it puts damage on. They do get the KO anyways on the Soups, but that also, we've seen many times over the day where they have the ladder combo. They know how to purely get a 0 to death off of 1 mistake. But that nair's gonna come through. Save point gets in the way. That's an attack decay Sair though. If that wasn't on attack decay, he probably goes down. But instead, he gets the we would have thought he would have made it back, but he never got the chance as he just kept getting pressured. He never got to touch the ground and reset his defensive options.
Yeah, I mean, we've been seeing him with really good movement multiple times in this match. What a team combo from the blue team. The double Jakey. Wait, where's the dance at? I thought we were going to see them both dance together, but I guess not. Either way, Team Mike and Ike with the, we're back with that Dwight Christmas sweater, and I think that's what he needed. He needed the Dwight Christmas. He was playing cake, and now he's got that ugly sweater on. He's getting dubs again.
I mean, you know what's crazy? That match, I'm not even going to lie, it felt like they were losing the whole match. Like, honestly, from the beginning, that early KO that happened, it felt like Swerve and Wave, I keep doing it, Swerve and Ramss, it felt like they were losing the whole beginning of the game, but that's the danger of how good they are. It doesn't matter what kind of lead you have, because the early KO potential off the top, the early KO potential off the sides, they are always in the game, that because of how that team works. So they don't need the zoning, they don't need to have armor, they just need to catch you one good time and you disappear.
It came down to those decisions, right? Like, I mean, I do want to just bring up the one a moment ago when we were like, well, I was like, Why are they not, going over to get the KO? And they opted to jump Morty, and it just paid off dividends. They did big time damage to him. Superman tries to come help. Oops Tier gets blasted instantly, and then they just got right back on him and got cleaned that stock up. Stuff like that. That was a 2-for-1 special. You know what I'm saying? They already had one. That's a 2-for-1 special. Now you're in the lead. You close the game.
I just realized something. Hey, any Mike and Ike rep that is listening right now, okay? I want y'all to think about a new candy. Call it Houdini Act, because that's what this team is. They get a hold of you, and you disappear. Candy sometimes will melt right in your mouth. Houdini Act, new candy. That's this team name, too. Actually, it's got to be stretch. It's got to be stretch candy, too, because you got Jake. I'm just saying, put me on the board of directors. But we got, I like the name of this team. All jokes aside, they really... It did feel like they were out of it at points, but they just don't matter. And you were right. Their target shifting focus is absurd. Once they see Oops Tier is committed all the way off stage and missed a play, congratulations, broskies. You now belong to us for the next 30 seconds. And on the
yeah, that's rough, man. They when they jump, dude, they're racking damage up. Like I think they cleaned him up from he was around 20 or something. I'm throwing numbers out. I think this is what happened. Like 20 something, and then they racked him up to about 80. Like before Superman could get back, that was crazy.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see where this game goes from this point forward too, because we have game number 4 around the corner. This is now the time where broskies and Oops Tier have to decide. What do we commit to? Because remember, everybody, this is pre-reset, so there is an opportunity to reset the bracket and get some more games in. But when you are down 2-1, you are locked into the character that you won on always. So whoever you decide to stay with here is who you are stuck with. And the infamous Rain Dog from Oops Tier is going to show up. This is something I've seen him talk about on Twitter a lot. And this is also one of the most dangerous teams we saw for a long time of Morty and Rain Dog with House Arrest and wow, somebody help me. I can't remember. I'm sorry, I can't remember which Rain Dog it was. But I don't but like that team combo was so good, and this is definitely a pretty solid decision to try and counter these two. Granted, that does mean that Rain Dog is going to get comboed quite a bit by Arya. Monk, thank you. Oh my god, I cannot believe I forgot.
The combos from Arya are going to be a big, sweet mother. But if one thing is the hard counter of Jake House into Rain Dog. Like, that dude is such a hard counter when it comes to throwing hands with him and when he's trying to counter your projectiles. It's just so polarizing. Look at that. Made him get hit by his own attack. Already at 62 damage. They've lost 2 stocks. Haven't taken 1 yet. This is a rough look. But I will say I like this team, just not with Jake on the opposing team.
I entirely agree with your sentiment on that too, because it is a very difficult matchup. Rain Dog has never had a fun time against Jake. There's only a few I've ever seen pull it off well, and that's pretty much like Flying Panther and Retro. So you don't see it too often in the 2v2 situation though, because the backup character usually helps. But that back character is always also a zoner, which means Arya could get in more, and that Sarah's going to cover that recovery. We are 1 stock away, potentially moments away, from Team Mike and Ike winning here on Team Mike and Ike Week, and it's looking like that's going to happen because Team Mike and Ike closes out Mike and Ike Week with the victory as they take it all home. Swerve and Ramss are your E-Series champions.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That sweater is just too powerful. That thing is just too powerful, dude. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what they were supposed to do. I'm actually, you know what? I do know what they were supposed to do. I just said it, and I'm gonna say it again for the people in the back. That matchup, man, you can't do it. It's just that's just not the one. Jake about to pull up on Rain Dog, and I mean, I was trying to make a pun, and I couldn't think of nothing. But he's not going to let Rain Dog play.
I get it. You were trying to find a way to get After Party to mix into that somehow, and I was trying to figure out a way to follow up on you afterwards. And I realized I had nothing too, so I'm glad you dropped the ball. We fall together, my friend. we both didn't make the playoffs, but still, phenomenal job. I think I do agree on the fact that it was definitely a dangerous idea. Superman was the main thing that kind of like overwhelmed them, but Superman also started to get figured out as the matches progressed. As we saw here, every time they separated, they were able to, oh wait, no, actually that was the early games. They were able to double up on him a ton early, but as the matches progressed, they've kind of figured out where The problem was, it was the fact that Oopsitir was crowding them too much off stage, which meant, let's let him feel like he can. And we're going to go and focus down Broski's Morty instead. Morty only has so many keep away tools. He's still really good at keeping away, but when you have both Jake and Arya chasing you, it's a lot more difficult. And once Raindog came out, they didn't have to care about it at all. They said, all right, House is now the problem that you have to deal with.
Beautiful counter pick onto the counter pick. It was just, that was the inherent counter pick. Either way it goes, man, Team Mike and Ike with a second place yesterday and a first place today during their own week. Imagine getting dubs on your own personal holiday. That's crazy. But man, I mean, I just got to give it up to these guys. Oopsitir was doing amazing. Outside of Swerve, Oopsitir was today's MVP, right?
Yeah.
Like, that dude was playing so good. Clueless, close third, right? You know what I mean? Close second. But yeah, it's definitely, I think I said it right. Close third. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
I mean, me personally, like that was just shades of I can't say shades of Sifu. Like, say that 5 times fast. Shades of Sifu Zug returning back to the screen right there. The OG with
that.
That is the original name, of course, of Oopsitir, and I will always bring it up because I'm a big fan of that name. But also the original way that we saw that Superman be played back when he first started, and it felt like that again today. It felt like he was back at it. And even though we didn't see Broski's playing the Velma today, the Shaggy looked phenomenal, the Morty was looking great, but the problem that they couldn't solve, even with the changes, this dude just gets it done. You can nerf the character, but you can't nerf the player. It is Swerve popping off once again, looking phenomenal at it. And then the backup, the amazing job from Ramss. That team is a team to beat down the line. That is going to be a very difficult thing to deal with.
I love what I saw from everybody. Shout out to all these teams. It was a beautiful invitational here at Series E. Everybody was strutting their stuff. Everybody did what they wanted to do, but the only one team was able to prevail. Team Mike and Ike, salute. Everybody else, y'all did great. I've been your boy Zipmaster Flex. This is that homie Ajax right here, and I'll catch y'all next time.
Have a good night.
Man, Zipmaster Flex coming through on the back-to-back Guilty Gear Strive into MultiVersus, and of course Ajax, that perfect combo here on a Friday afternoon, on a Friday night. Great way to start the weekend. What a bracket. Well done, gents. And Team Mike and Ike getting it done during Mike and Ike week. Huge W from them. Best performance of the season. Swerve looking incredible, looking so good right alongside Ramss. They win it all the way through the winner's side. They take down Moonlit Knights. And we also have to give Moonlit Knights credit because they have very quickly established themselves as one of the best open invite teams here to Series E, right? It's been K7 and Legendary, right? World's Greatest Detective have been that team since the start of the season, but Moonlit Knights have come in here and very quickly, over just a month, have quickly set themselves up as that is a team to be reckoned with. And now we've got 2 definitive squads outside of the partner teams. Of course, Vitamin Water have been incredible. Now Mike and Ike with their big W. This is really shaping up to be a very exciting and compelling back half of the season here for the inaugural season of Series E MultiVersus, and I cannot wait. Well done to Ramss and Swerve. Hell of a performance tonight, and they have certainly earned the title of Series E champion here during Mike and Ike week. That's going to do it all for us tonight, folks. I hope you enjoyed this entire week with us, and I hope you're looking forward to a wonderful weekend, and I hope that this was just the right way to start it off, as it certainly was here for me. We're going to head out, but for myself, the entire live broadcast crew, and everybody here at Esports Arena, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week, and I think I'm going to crack open some Mike and Ike's here, have a little bit of snack as we say goodbye. Have a good one, y'all.